a minute. So y'all follow Luke because I blocked him by mistake, and I think I should unblock him so I could further. Well, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. How I look at Luke is that don't be mad at me for saying this. Like he's a foreigner, Roland's a foreigner, and Kamala, vice president, she's a foreigner also. Like so, shit. They was just sitting up here, just dick riding us, playing us the fuck out type shit. That's what just happened.
So wait a minute. Luke was also saying that we shouldn't get reparations. Is what he was also saying as well. In this
no. What's the guy name? What's the other guy named? Roland. That motherfucker talked to somebody asked him about reparations, and he said we shouldn't get reparations. But you got to remember, these are two immigrants. Okay, two immigrants sitting in the room talking about our reparations, and that is the problem. Just because they look like us, they're able to speak for us, and that is becoming a problem. And that's why it's so important for us to delineate from these people. It's so important.
Yeah,
I agree with you. I agree with you. For the simple fact is that Roland Martin is Haitian, and then I think his family had to come up over here and pretend that they was black to come be covered up over us, and then I don't know, Uncle Luke ain't my Luke uncle neither, and so Luke showed his ass, and the Kamala she been showing her ass against us, and they all collaborated together. Yeah, because Luke is a Democrat and Kamala is Jamaican and Indian, so they all came together against us. That's the only conclusion that I'm keep coming to. And Luke is the front center of the person to show as much disrespect as he possibly can. So he must got paid a lot.
Here's my thing with Luke. I'm gonna hand it over to you, Queen B, as well. Luke rise to prominence, like I say, came in the late '80s and the '90s in South Florida, in Miami, off of the sound that they would call it as bass booty shake type music. Now, Luke, all of his wealth, all of his fortune, all of his fame came from black people in South Florida, in Miami, in Fort Lauderdale, and Palm Beach, throughout the entire state of Florida, supporting his music and whatnot. The Two Live Crew sound and all that style and this and that. It was black Americans that made Luke money. And then Luke would go ahead and he would tie himself to the University of Miami football program, which at the time was the top-notch program in all the college football. I mean, they were an NFL factory. They were sending out players left and right to the NFL each and every year. Luke got with the players because they were from down there in the hood. They were from the same neighborhoods, and they loved him. He loved them, and he was able to tie himself into the Miami Hurricane style of play and whatnot, and tie his music into their football. And he became a huge mega star because of that, because of his content, and because of the rise of Miami Hurricane football. So Luke's entire wealth, his entire fortune is tied to black Americans. So I have an issue here when he starts sitting up here and he's talking about issues concerning black Americans and he's taking it lightly. Like Roland Martin is nobody to put any stock into. Roland Martin would sit up here for Hillary Clinton. He would cut up a rug. He would do anything that these white folks say. Like I said, his main thing is strictly to try to get him a White House press so he can be that Negro to report all the news and all the issues. He was up here sitting up here mad and complaining, talking about that the black media is not getting the money they need to get. He's up here trying to get white folks to go ahead and send money to him and whatnot. That's why I said, man, y'all got to support the grassroots. That's why you got to support black-owned, black media outlets. Not just Newstoter, but any black-owned media outlet that's doing their thing out there today, man. Y'all got to go ahead and y'all got to support them because if not, you're going to have people like CNN, you're going to have people like Roland Martin up here speaking on issues about black people, and the only thing they care about is getting their ass a position under these white people so they can go ahead and get rich and take care of their own. Queen B, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Thank you, Newstoter. So, yeah, I was in that room, and, what I took from the room is that you black folk better get out there and vote, and don't be so much concerned about the federal elections. Be concerned about the locals, because y'all black folk don't know that all politics is local. And if you don't start at the local level, you're not going to get anything that you need or want. So you better get out there and vote. And then another thing that I think was happening there is, the Democrats are losing black voters, and their numbers, I think they've anticipated that they're not going to make it. And this is just, to me, was just another effort to try to get us out there to vote and support Stacey Abrams, or like the so-called local. So if you're living in Georgia, it's about getting Abrams elected. If you're living in Los Angeles, it's about getting, what's the woman that's running for mayor? I mean,
Karen Bass.
Yep, I think that's what this whole thing was about. But he was very condescending, Roland that is, because he presented it as if black people, the reason why y'all don't have that is because you're not doing your politics right. Y'all need to know how to do politics. That's the way it was coming across. Very, very, very condescending. And then he starts talking about, oh, I know who this person is, or he started talking about like the nine, the sororities and the fraternities and how they know how to do politics, and you need to get in there. You need to talk to these people. You need to put an infrastructure in, and how you going to get what you need if you don't put in infrastructure first? And just very, very condescending the way he handled that. So that's what I took away from it. And I didn't like what they did to Marcel, because I really felt like they probably had that set up, that guy Steven, because that guy Steven, he's been following, like he goes in our spaces and he doesn't say anything, but he listens. And, he's always like co-hosting with Luke. And I really felt like they probably had it planned. So like when Marcel got in a room, they would automatically going to bring him up and then, not give him a chance to talk. Because if anyone else is in there, you notice how they didn't even let like him even like rebuttal, like, and then Roland, and then Steven was in there talking about what Republicans. I mean, just really silly the way they did it. And then the next thing I knew, Marcel's out of the room. I know I saw Tariq waving at one point, or like they even gave him, or like they were going to let him speak, but then they kicked him out the room. So yeah, they didn't even hold a fair space. It's like they didn't even want to really hear any opposing views. It was very much staged, in my opinion. So I'll land.
Thank you, Queen. Thank you. For all you guys that's in the space, if you have not, please go ahead and make sure you're following Newstoter here on Twitter. Make sure you're following us on Twitter. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm going to put that up in the Jumbotron as well. I want to thank all you guys, everybody that's in the space. Go ahead and please tweet out the space as well. I'm going to go ahead and shoot it to you, Lord Albert, in a second. I just want to say this. I had just curated some news on the platform on Newstoter. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and tweet out a few things here and there. And then I saw the damn notifications. Luke talking about black folks need to support Roland Martin. I was like, what in the hell? Let me go ahead and tweet this out. And sure enough, as soon as I tweeted out, everybody started responding. Everybody like, yeah, I'm up in the space and he's saying this. I mean, everybody was going off. Everybody was like, what in the hell? And like I say, Luke's entire wealth has come off of black Americans. For him to go ahead and to try to align us with somebody like Roland Martin, who we know is a complete yes man, who's been trying to beg to get back on cable network TV since CNN let him go. Nah, bro, we're not even feeling that. We're not going for that. So absolutely hell no. Hell to the no, no way, no how. We, like I say, you need to have that new black media apparatus to go ahead and push our agenda and not the agenda of some white slave holding plantation Democrat or Republican, liberal, conservative, damn Peckerwood parties. Lord Abbott, this brother has a YouTube channel. If you guys go to YouTube, please try to go to subscribe to his channel. He is, I believe, Lord Abbott is a more. I believe. I don't want to speak incorrect if I'm wrong, Lord Abbott. But yeah, I've seen this brother for years on the Sodnetta platform. He's a very eloquent speaker, very knowledgeable on a lot of things politically, religion wise. So I'm gonna go ahead and let Lord Abbott go ahead and unmute his mic.
Peace, what's going on? Good looking fam. Thank you for letting me up, and shout out to everybody in the room. Yeah, I don't rep the Moorish movement no more. I've been out of that, but I still consider myself a Moor. That ain't going nowhere. But in the name of our YouTube channel is Be the Power, and one of the things that we're also helping to promote is the campaign Don't Vote Blue 2022. I just put something in the Jumbotron so everybody could look at it and check it out. You know, we're going to try to help build that thing and try to help them get some billboards and YouTube ads. We really want to deliver a political consequence to the Democrats in 2022 so that they'll know that in 2024 we are not playing. So make sure y'all check that out. And I just want to just briefly touch on my interaction with Luke. So I came up in his, and then I'll get the Roland. I came up in his space. This was about a month ago. And I can't even, it was some bootstrapperism talk, and when I got in the space, he was like, can't nobody talk about reparations in my spaces no more. I'm like, what? So I'm patiently waiting for my hand to, for me to be able to speak, for him to call me. So I finally get up on the stage and I confront him about what rappers do when they get their money. They invest in Vice. And I start breaking down. Jay-Z got what? Duce and Ace of Spades. 50 Cent got the, Branson Cognac and Effin Vodka. Diddy got Ciroc and whatever. Luke, I almost made the mistake and called him Uncle Luke. Luke was talking about he invested in some rum mixed with juice, and basically he couldn't get enough support behind it. And so I called them on that. I said, y'all get y'all's money and y'all invest in a bunch of sin. Then y'all come in front of the people and y'all tell them, y'all try to shame them by saying that, they need to buy back the block. You didn't get rich. And none of these people who are saying this, they didn't get rich from buying back the block. It's just a BS talking point because none of these people have nothing else to say once they get rich. And they're trying to find a way so that they can remain relative. Now, Roland, he called for the smoke. I was trying to listen in earlier. My Twitter kept cutting in and out. A lot of people in the grassroots were saying the same exact thing.
Mine too, brother. Mine too.
Mm-hmm. And so with Roland called for the smoke. He said every name but BTP. That's the name of our YouTube channel. Be the Power. For those that don't know, we get busy with this political work, right? And so I challenged Tim directly, right? I did a video on my channel. A couple of the brothers came on later, specifically calling for the smoke because he and his panel tried to make it seem as if the Asian hate crimes bill wasn't what it was. So they use a tactic of, and I'm listening to some of y'all's recaps, they use a gaslighting tactic that works with our people because we are, for the most part, largely politically ignorant. That's why Biden can say, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And he can get up in front of leaders of the NAACP and the Congressional Black Caucus and basically scorn them. He can get on the debate stage, and when they ask him about African American reparations, he can say Hispanics are the future of this country, and we need to be investing in them. We haven't learned as a whole people how to check them. That's why we're supporting the Don't Vote Blue 2022 campaign. So we break everything Roland Martin and his panel said down. Greg Carr, because he said, y'all ain't reading the bills. We did read the bill. We did read the bill. And in the bill, it had the name of the 7 victims of the people that got murdered in Atlanta by the white guy who was basically some type of creep that would go to this spa and, get some type of sexual relief or whatever. He went crazy one day and just shot up this spa, and they tried to put that as a COVID hate crime, and it wasn't. And I was able to show their names in the bill because Roland Martin and his panel were gaslighting people and making it seem as if, this wasn't an Asian-specific bill. So I contrasted that with the George Floyd Justice and Police Act bill and the massacre in the church in South Carolina committed by the white supremacist, devil racist Dylan Roof. None of the names of our freedmen, grandmothers and aunts and grandfathers and uncles, it's our freedmen family who were murdered by that savage was in that bill. The people in Buffalo, our Freedman family in Buffalo, their names are not going to be put in no bill. So all of that stuff that Roland Martin is talking about is cap. All of that stuff that Luke is talking about is a whole bunch of cap. Y'all seen, he made a tweet and all of the Democrat, it was largely women too, Simone Sanders, etc., attacked him. And that dude got right back in line. Now he went from talking about, what are black people getting out of voting for the Democrats to we all need to be voting with Roland Martin. I want to give a shout out to the grassroots, man, because we're not hearing that anymore. And I just wanted to come up here and give, and share, I should say, my interaction. Oh, and Roland Martin's response to our video was he came on the Twitter feed and said, "Y'all a bunch of dumbasses," and that was it. So y'all already know what we dealing with. Let's just keep the pressure on them, fam. Good looking. Thanks for letting me come up.
No doubt. And Lord Albert, before you go, Ray, I'm going to get right to you. But Lord Albert, before you said about a month ago you was in one of Luke's Twitter spaces and he was saying that don't come in here and don't talk about reparations.
Yeah, that was the thing. Somebody had already told me that about a week prior. I'm the type, my nickname is Mr. Just the Facts. I gotta hear stuff and see it for myself in order for me to feel it. If it ain't coming from one of my closest confidants, one of my bros, then I take it with a grain of salt. So when I got in there and I'm waiting in queue, and this dude said, and nobody better not talk about reparations in this space. I said, what? So, of course, as soon as I got on, I start going right at his neck.
No doubt. I appreciate you coming in, brother. Like I said, y'all check out this brother's YouTube channel. He's been in the conscious community for years. He is a very knowledgeable individual, very strong black man. Y'all go ahead and y'all support Lord Abbott. If y'all not, go ahead and also follow him on Twitter as well. Ray, I'm going to kick it to you. I just got to say this one thing. I'm telling y'all, like y'all know I normally don't do spaces on Sundays. I'm just chilling. Just went ahead and just updated the info on Newstoter. And like I said, I'll be damned if I just wasn't looking at the notifications and I saw this thing about Luke and Roland Martin, and this thing just shook me to my damn core. And I like, no, in the world they're not having a space talking about black people need to vote with Roland Martin. I'm like, who put Luke up to say something like this right here? Now, I'm gonna tell you, like I said, a little history check on Luke, because Luke, I'm from Florida. Back in the day, Luke used to get arrested for having obscene shows and stuff like that, because he used to have the girls back in the day we think is sexualized now. Well, he is the father bringing the sexualized music to hip hop. Like before Luke, like you didn't see the women like not, but Luke was known for having the Luke dances and whatnot. Like Lord Albert made a point that stuck in my craw when he was saying that a lot of these people like Jay-Z and the rest of them, they get the liquor, they get this and they get that. One of Luke's first major investments when he did start getting money coming in was a club back in the day. And I was a little boy because my cousin and them used to go down there. It was a club in Miami called Strawberries, which is basically a strip club. So he came up basically off of the flesh as a flesh peddler or whatever. So, we gave Luke his credit for putting people in Florida in the hip hop scene, bringing it nationally. But at the same time, a lot of our parents and aunts and uncles, they could not stand him. They hated him. They felt he was a misogynist. They felt that he was basically a pimp, that he was a deviant. They did not like Luther Campbell. You could not listen to him. If you would have listened to Luke around my mom and dad, they would have slapped the living shit out you growing up. He was not going to bring that in the house or whatever. If you listen to it, you listen to it with your older homeboys at their house, and you sneaking listening to it. So this whole thing, Luke knows that it was black people that built the state of Florida up. Like I said, he's always been close with the ties of black people. He was able to get with black Americans and build his fortune and whatnot. So to see him sit up here and say that, like Lord Albert said, he doesn't want to hear about reparations. He wants to have somebody like Roland Martin, who was a complete magpie. He wants to sit up here and talk about having him and following his lead or whatnot. And we see that Roland Martin's whole issue, like I say, is finding his way back to TV One, finding his way to CNN, finding his way to MSNBC, one of these white-owned media outlets that's gonna break bread with him. So it's up to us as the black media to go ahead and put our foot down and push our agenda and make sure that the entire country sees it for what it is. Ray, go ahead and unmute your mic.
In the words of our brother Newstoter, this ain't nothing but a bunch of magpie babble. So, family, we can't really let these folks run this game on us. I wanted to say this about Uncle Luke. I said this before about how he held a space when he was. I know actually it wasn't a space. He made a post about, I want you to name 5 things that the Democrats have done for us. And then I want to say like 18 hours later, he's gonna post. You know what? We need to support Stacey Abrams, and now it's we need to support Roland Martin. This dude is completely co-opted, family. If y'all can't see it by now, I don't even know what else to say. I was looking at Biden's approval rating, and his approval rating is down, I think, 29%. And just, I want to say about 20 hours ago, him and his son, I guess someone hacked into his iCloud or something, and he put a whole bunch of like crazy pictures out. I don't know if you guys seen that. So I don't know if it's tied together, but just seems kind of ironic, with his stuff going down to 29%, and now that leaked last night, and now they sent Roland Martin out to to try to troll us. And like I say, Roland, he just does whatever's politically convenient for him. Because I remember not that long ago, and I'm hoping somebody has this picture, because I was looking for it while you guys were talking. He actually had a shirt on that said, "Where's our check?" Even though he know damn well he ain't eligible for one. He's walking around here with a damn shirt that says, "Where's our check?" This dude, he'll do whatever he can to stay relevant, family, and I'm gonna land my plane.
No doubt, no doubt. I'm gonna kick it to you enough in a second, and I'm gonna get to you also, Queen. And here's my thing right here, and this is why. But before I go ahead, you guys, if you can, go ahead and support Newstoter on Cash App. That's $Newstoter. That is $Newstoter. If you got $1 you want to contribute to the New Black Media, it would be greatly appreciated. That is $Newstoter. Here's Roland thing. Roland has, I believe, a Haitian relative and sister in his family background. So Roland believes that anybody that's black in this country should get reparations because they face discrimination just like every other black person. And it has been told time and time again that it ain't about discrimination, it ain't about racism. It's about black people who were enslaved on this land, who built this land up, who made this country the richest country in the history of the world. To get this, people who had the entire racism was built on their back. When you talk about systematic racism, these are the people who have felt it more than anybody else on the face of the earth. And because you decided to migrate to this country, be it in the 1900s, whether it be 1910, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 2000, does not entitle you into what these people went. For one, your family was not split in half, okay? People, we're dealing with more than just building a country. We're talking about absolute families and legacies ripped apart. So you are not entitled to anything. You came over here of your own free will, and you have benefited off of the struggle of black people in this country, namely the civil rights movement. You could go to colleges at HBCU simply because you're black and because other black people built these colleges up. So don't sit here and say that you're entitled to it just because you're black and you face discrimination. The same story they like to tell. Well, if a cop stops me, he's not going to know if I'm a Jamaican or a black American. That's besides the damn point. The point is that black Americans built this country up, the richest country in the history of the world, and they were systematically displaced out of having any chance of reaping what we call the American dream that you guys come over here and you get because of us. So stop with the nonsense. So Roland is pissed about that. He uses that as a way to undermine us, and we as black Americans need to call him out. And now that Luke is joining forces with him, he's got to be called out. I don't care if he's supposed to be a legend in hip hop or not. If you're going to sit up here and have ties with somebody else that we know have a disdain for black Americans and having a black American agenda, everybody else in the world can have their own agenda. The Asians can have their own agenda. The Jews can have their own agenda. Everybody can have their own agenda except black Americans. When it comes to black Americans, we have to be join in unison and sit around a campfire and saying we are the world and do footsies and all this other nonsense. No, like everybody in this space is saying, we have our own agenda. Now, for all the black people that come over here to live over here in the diaspora, from now on, you're going to follow our lead. We're the leaders. You're the followers. We're going to set the trend. You guys are going to follow us and do as we say. And I don't give a damn that you sitting up here kissing white ass or whatnot, and you feel like the only reason that black Americans are in the position they are because we went around a bunch of white people. See, that's what it really gets down to. A lot of these immigrants over here who's coming from third world countries, sitting up here talking trash. They feel like once they get around a bunch of white people, their IQ jumps up 40, 50 points. You know, they couldn't do anything in their own country. They were behind and this and that. You coming from countries that rank dead last in every key metric in the world. But when you get around white people, because your country was void of white people for the most part, you come around white people in this country and you say, okay, well now I'm making it, I'm progressing that. You feel like black people in this country we only did what we did because we was around a bunch of white people. So in actuality, you don't feel we contributed anything. You feel all of everything that was built in this country really was by white people, and we just benefited being enslaved on this land. So yeah, we got some issues and we got some problems right here going on, and we gonna straighten it out. Ray, go ahead and unmute your. No, I'm sorry. It's enough time. Enough, Queen.
No,
and then,
no, it's okay. Let Ray go. Yeah, I'm positive.
Okay.
Hush, Charm. Oh, sorry, my dog acting crazy. I was just gonna throw in this real quick, and then we get to Sister Enough. They're just trying to undermine it because they can make it about racism instead of making it lineage based. It's gonna undermine them because everyone can claim they've been through some type of racism. I just want to add that. Go ahead, Sister Enough.
No, I don't have anything to say. That's why I didn't have my hand up.
Oh, okay.
You got King.
Queen B, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, I just wanted to follow up. I just think they're just gonna continue these different tactics. I also had heard that he had invited Joy Reid. I don't know if that's been verified, but I did hear that. And I guess she just didn't make it. So I don't know who this blue check guy was. I think his first name was Damien or something. I don't know if y'all caught what he said, but he said something about, your reparations is local. He goes, you got to do something. He goes, and then he used Evanston, Illinois as an example and started talking about Evanston, Illinois and how black people going to start getting housing vouchers. I don't know. But yeah, they were just really just jumping in, saying some stuff that has already been, refuted. So, I mean, yeah, I just think they're just going to just continue to try these things. And the other thing Roland said was that we need to stop being so emotional. So he tried that as well. So I think we just need to hold on tight because, the midterms is maybe 3 months away. So I just think we just need to hold on tight and not be surprised by any of this foolishness. So thanks for giving me the floor, and I'm going to land and I'll drop down. Thank you.
No problem. For the fact that you got a person sitting up here talking about that reparations are local and they trying to use Evanston as a damn point, the fact of the matter is that reparations are local, they're state, and they're federal. And if you want to be honest, they're also the private sector as well, too, because you have private businesses that came here and made all kind of money off the misery and the misfortune of black people. All these Fortune 500 companies and these financial institutions and these banks and these universities that are sitting around right here to this day profiting made money off of black misery. And for somebody to sit up here, some dumbass to sit up here and use a damn scam that they're using in Evanston, where they talking about basically giving you money that you're going to use as a loan for housing and whatnot, that has not a damn thing. And not only that, only a specific number of black people are eligible. They did a lottery, so something like 600 people or 16 or some ridiculous amount of people that they want to go ahead and sit up here and then you want to talk about that. That's damn reparations, where anybody that's a descendant in Chicago of slaves should be getting that damn money and should be getting money free. And first, you don't tell me what I can and can't do with the damn money. Has this Negro lost his damn mind sitting up here? Him, Roland Martin, and Joy Reid are just Democrat operatives put in place to keep Negroes on that plantation, telling you not to get off that porch. Go ahead, Demi. First time we get a chance to hear from you tonight. Go ahead, sister, and unmute your mic.
Thank you, Newstoter and DJ. Thank you guys for letting me speak. Just to recap, that room was filled with nothing but Democratic immigration babble. Though everybody was speaking was coming from an immigration standpoint. If you paid attention, every single one of those people were descendants of immigrants. They benefit. pinpoint nothing specifically for Black people in 500 years. But they want to do universal. It should help everybody. It should help everybody. And we all know anything universal, who is the foundation of that universal program? Who is the ground of the universal programs? Black Americans. So you even have Roland Martin advocating for illegal immigrants. If you guys just pay attention, they tell on themselves, but we should shame them. We should shame them constantly. It should be a campaign of shaming. Luke is a guy that he brought nothing to our community but hood rat stuff. So he's the last person to be given political advice. Roland Martin right now has a picture on Instagram asking for funding for his bus that was turned over by the ancestors. Okay, his bus was turned over by the ancestors, and he is literally begging Black people to give him money, but he claimed he boule. So I'm a little bit confused. If you work for the Democrat Party, we all know you shucking and jiving for them. How much money are you getting out of this by betraying the Black people, air quotes, ideology? These people aren't boule. It's something else, y'all. I just haven't put my finger on it. But how are you telling us to vote blue no matter who? But you, in the same breath, you asking us to give you $300,000 for a new damn Roland Martin bus. I'm confused. Like, it just don't make sense, y'all. And I'll land there.
Facts, sister, facts. Like I say, he wants to sit up here and tell us to vote for a party who ain't gonna do anything. And then here's the thing, because I did catch, and Lord Alva made a point, like, I don't know what in the hell was going on, because I kept checking my phone. I turned it off. I was flushing out. I was flushing stuff out, trying like, damn, why can't I get in this space? Every time I got in this space, it was all mumble jumble. I was losing sound. I'm like, damn, I wanted to get in here and say something. Couldn't even get in the damn space, but I did hear him say something like, what is it? What is the Republicans? How many Republicans support reparations? The whole thing, like, come on, man, don't be a dumbass. How many Republicans are sitting in office right now because of the Black vote? Very few. We have been putting Democrats in office for 60 some odd years. We have been the most loyal voting bloc in the history of this country to a party. I'm talking about of all time. You cannot think of another voting bloc that has been as loyal to a party as Black people have been to the Democrats. And you sitting up here talking about why we not asking Republicans for something? Maybe because we don't put Republicans in office. How about that? We put Democrats in office. We turn the votes for them. Joe Biden is sitting up there, Mr. Magoo sitting up there in office right now because of the Black vote. And they're sitting up here and they want us to worry about, why y'all don't have that same kind of heat for Republicans? I don't know, because maybe 88 to 90% of Black people vote Democrat. Maybe that should be where their concern and their focus is at, for vote for a group of people who will sit up here and they will bring another group of people and put them right over you and come up with all kind of excuses, like they say, telling Black people, you gotta basically do whatever the Hispanics say now because they're gonna be the majority. You have to go ahead and get in line with that. Now, in the 60s, I guarantee you wasn't telling Hispanics, you wasn't telling Asians, you wasn't telling any other group. Well, Black people are the largest group after us in this country. Y'all got to do whatever the Black people say. No. You see, you want to do this step and fetch with us, but everybody else, you can sit up there and you can treat them with respect. But the people who are actually responsible for the wealth of this nation, the people who laid their life down in every war, every conflict that this country has ever seen, going all throughout the world, supposedly quote unquote for democracy, you want to sit up here and tell them to kiss your ass? No, we're not even hearing that, man. We are not hearing that whatsoever. We got a couple new speakers. I'm gonna let I Am Hill. I'm gonna let Black Alpha Network, and then we're gonna get back to the people that have their hands up, Shantae, and also we're gonna let Chase go too. So we're trying to let some of the new people come up in here. So I Am Hill, go ahead and unmute your mic. I Am Hill, are you there? I think I Am Hill might be losing connection. I see that phone is going. So when they come back, we'll come back to them. So let us get to Black Alpha Network. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Much respect, family. Much respect to all the hosts and all the familiar faces in here. I'm glad this space was made. I'm glad this space was made because I seen as well that Luke Campbell and Roland Martin, the two live coon space that they had going on right there. And we needed to counter that and address that because everyone knows right now we're going in a stage where we get closer to the midterms and foundational Black Americans. We are all becoming way more political and way more savvy. And a lot of the games and the tactics and the tricks that they used to run on us in yesteryear don't work anymore. And that right there has them shook. They're really having temper tantrums. That's basically what that space was. That was desperation. That was pure desperation. They're trying to run those games again, and they're upset that we're calling out all their con games before they even do them. So now they're to the point where they try to reach into that trick bag, and there's nothing even there. They just scrapping at the bottom because they ran everything on us, and we rejected them all. The vote blue, no matter who, we've exposed that. The anybody but Trump, we've exposed that. Roland Martin literally talks out both sides of his neck. One minute he's saying this, the next minute he's saying that. We're calling out the tether class because those are just two tethers who use the Democratic Party to facilitate their transition from resources from foundational Black Americans over to themselves. And I think I've said before, and a couple people have heard it, these people don't look at the Democratic Party as party. It is not politics to them. This is their race. The same way the plantation used to name the slaves, that's exactly what they are. These are the people, and I think you said it the best, Newstoter. They're the people still on the porch, and they say if we gonna be slave, everybody gonna be a slave. They don't want anybody to be free. They don't want anybody thinking independently. None of that for two reasons. One is because they feel the Democratic Party is their race, and I'm on record saying it the same way O.J. Simpson said, "I'm not black. I'm OJ." Is the same way they say, "I'm not black. I'm a Democrat." That's what they truly feel, that the Democratic Party is their race. I know Roland ain't talking about quit being emotional. Like, you literally think a political party is your race. You sacrifice everything for that. You'll go down with the Democrats. He has no relationship with anything black. If it's blue, that's him. And that's their first reason. And then their second reason is they don't want to get called to a master's office because the Black Democrat has one job to do. And that is to go and get the black vote through whatever means possible. Any lie, any trick, any con game, that's what they have to do. And once that does not happen, like it's not happening now, then that coon phone gets dialed up, and then they got to come on in and they got to talk to Mr. Jim Crow Joe Biden. They got to talk to Hillary Clinton or whoever the supremacist elitist is in the Democratic Party. They got to have a conversation with them and explain to them why their tricks ain't working, why they can't get the black vote anymore. And Roland Martin's upset. He's scared right now because he understands that if he can't get that job done, then he's going to be right there on that corner. I mean, he couldn't get it done before, and that's why he went from national news to the internet. You know what I'm saying? So they're really shook right now, and they're really desperate. And I look at these spaces that they put on, it's just desperation attempts. They say a lot of babble, and it doesn't really bother me because I remember when things were going well for them, they was showing their teeth and smiling and kicking their legs like cheerleaders. Now the fact that they got to have these spaces where they're saying all that nonsense, that just means that we're on code and we're doing the right thing. Whenever they have to resort to those tactics, that just means that they don't really have a grip on things like they want to. And as far as reparations is concerned, you see the shift that they've already had. First off, most of the tethers in America, they never believed in blackness. These people were always the first ones saying, "Oh, I'm not black, I'm Kenyan. I'm not black, I'm Haitian. I'm not black, I'm Jamaican." Now, when it comes to getting access to our reparations, now everybody's black. Now they want to believe in black. These were the same people 5 or 6 years ago that never represented blackness. They had nothing to do with blackness. They didn't even want to acknowledge being black. They were telling us, "You foundational Black Americans see yourselves as a color. We don't." They would name their nationality. And now all of a sudden, when some money's on the line, our money, our resources, our tangibles, now they want to subscribe to blackness. Another thing they never believed in was supremacy. They never believed in supremacy at all. They were the same ones telling us, "Oh, there's no such thing as supremacy. You FBA are just making it up. Y'all need to work harder. It ain't the white man holding y'all down." Now, when reparations is on the table, they want to start talking about, "Oh, we all experience racism." You guys never acknowledged racism 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 10 years ago. But soon as money gets put on the table, these tethers start acting insane. And then the tethers are nothing but operatives for the Democratic Party. So it's a whole chain of things that are going on. But the beautiful part about it is us foundational Black Americans, we see it, we recognize it, we identify it. And by us doing that, we got them scared, we got them shook, and they don't really know what to do right now. So I take all these spaces, it's just desperation. And they don't really know what to do. And we're going to keep having that, keep going by the midterms roll around. If you think they're mad today and you think they're upset today and desperate today, wait until the midterms come around because the movement for foundational Black Americans to truly get independent politically is is growing every single day, and it's going to continue to grow, and they're going to fall back to the wayside. So I just want to say all that, man, and I salute everybody. Stay black, stay independent, stay vigilant, stay real, and we got all of them against the ropes. That goes for the tethers, the Democrats, and anybody else. Oh, and by the way, people say the Republican thing. They say, why do we talk about Republicans? Well, I always say it like this. If Democrats get 90% of the vote, then they're going to catch 90% of this smoke, and that's on everything. Peace and love, man. Appreciate you guys.
No doubt, no doubt. Thank you, Black Alpha Network. And now you made a point when you mentioned OJ, because OJ was good for saying that till he got caught up with that whole Nicole thing. I ain't black, I'm OJ. He forever kept saying that he wasn't black, he was OJ. And it's kind of like Malcolm X said back in the day when he was talking about the Negro on the plantation, and when Master got sick, he's like, "What's the matter, boss? We sick?" And these Negroes got that same type of mentality here. We. You talking about we, yet we as a collective at the bottom of the barrel in this country. All these other groups that the Democrats have put up here, they have put them over you. And none of these groups have been as loyal and have cared or supported about this party the way you have. You've been the backbone of it. And how do they treat you? By telling you to get to the back of the line. I am here. I see that you back up. You was next in line, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you go ahead and unmute your mic and speak. But before you do that, let me also thank my girl Aunt Lai, who contributed on Cash App to Newstoter. Thank you, Aunt Lai. Thank you for always supporting the platform as always. Definitely appreciate it. And anybody that'd like to support us, they can support us on Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. That's up in the Jumbotron. And our Cash App is $Newstoter. Go ahead, I am here.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. Okay, because they got me in the matrix and they're messing with my account big time. A few things. At the end, Uncle Luke, or whatever he called himself, that we're all black, deserve to be reparations.
Yeah, I see you in the matrix. Start it back because what you're saying, like we missed what you were saying. Go ahead and start it from the beginning.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Uncle Luke, or Luke, whatever his name is, said that we are all black and we all seen as black, and basically we all need to be repaired with reparations. They got me in the matrix. They messing with my account. They took me all the way out where I have to go all the way back in far as with my email to get back in. But anyway, it's like this. Not the Caribbeans, but the non-FBA, non-blacks, freedmen, whatever you want to say, our lineage, knows that once we out the paint, they're able to tether their way into our positions. Everybody knows this. Ain't nobody no fool. Last but not least, it's always that girl that runs after you don't want. The girl that gives you all her money. The girl that's basically banking you going out the rest of these girls that you really want. And we are the girl that is giving out all our money and everything to the Democratic Party. They don't like us, don't respect us, and we're seeing this. It's time for them to go, 100%. Because if they get back in, they gonna get us. And I don't think we understand. They don't like us. They feel a certain way about what we're doing right now. You know, this is out of our league to do some stuff like this. They get back in, it's over for us. Stacey Abrams is out there now politicking. We ain't never seen these people actually go out on the road because they always knew we got that bottom hoe, as they say, that bottom tramp. You know, that's so in love with me. I really don't like her because I got this sweet little Latina girl or sweet little Chinese or white girl over here. But this bride right here, I know she's going to bank me so I can go get them girls. I'll live good off of her. Right? But I really despise her, and I hate to come home and lay with her, to be honest. But I do what I have to do. I keep a PI, as they say. If we let them in there, we got to hold them accountable, 100%. Because they already told us if we allow them to come in there, we are going to let these immigrants become who you are supposed to be. They're going to Americanize them. And you're going to be left with a not an FBA, but a Pan-Africanist flag. And then that's when you're going to see in their offices, and you're seeing it now, but you're going to really see they're going to hold their flags up high and proud. And I'm going to land there.
No doubt. Thank you. Definitely thank you for your well thought out statement. And yeah, everybody's in the matrix. Like I said, I don't know what's going on today, but I experienced that same thing. Like I said, I was trying to get in that space, and I don't know. I kept starting my phone over, restarting it, flushing it out, the cache, everything, trying to see what was up. So definitely glad to have you in there. And like I say, this is nonsense. When you get everybody up here talk about now that we all, because we black, we all entitled to it. That is a complete slap in the face to black culture in this country. To sit up here and say that your people came here 40 years ago, at the latest or 50, and you entitled to what somebody whose people been here 500 years, 400 years, hell, someone been here for thousands of years, and you're going to sit up here and tell them that you entitled to what these people should get? I do not think so in the least bit. So, yeah, we got some issues, and not only that, the Democrat Party is weak right now, and we should treat them like a wounded animal, and we should pounce on them and attack them. We should make the Democrats not forget. This is the midterms and the 2024 election is a perfect way to get our agenda out there and to pounce on these people and to give them the beating of their life that they will never forget. They have been completely disrespectful to our culture, and we should not let it slide. We should not let them survive. We should attack them with everything that we got. DJ, I know I meant to get to you, man, the co-host. You got something you want to add before I go to Chase? DJ, you there?
I don't think he's been here for a minute.
Okay. Well, we'll go to Chase. I'm sure he'll come back. So, Chase, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Good evening, family. Peace to everybody in the room, man. Much love to everybody. I hope y'all can hear me well.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, brother, man. Peace to you for holding this space and everything. Just to add a little context, brother, I experienced the same thing the past week. The last time Luke had his show on, I jumped in there. And, I'm coming from everything as a perspective of an older brother. You know what I'm saying? And a couple of things that they had said, and I knew it, just to give a little context. Us that have been in here in these spaces and seen what's been going down with, the Young Brothers Emerging, Secure the Tribe, and, when those African immigrants jumped in a room and Tariq came in, we're all well aware of that, and pretty much what has been taking place. These African folks is like really showing us their asses, and me knowing all of this, I knew that I got my own agenda to push. I got the agenda of pushing something positive for my folks, and and I was never one for the voting or anything like that, and then being around the brothers and, speaking with some brothers that are smarter than me, and I came up and, okay, well, you know what? The voting makes sense in the local elections, even though I don't agree with it, but in the local elections, your mayors, your sheriffs, the judges, the DAs and stuff like that, that can, black folks can have a serious impact where their numbers are more dominant. And so I had to change my my stance on some things on how I view things because I was coming from a biased view. And that biased view was I'm for my black people. The Democratic Party has not done anything for us. They've been showing us their contempt for us since Joe Biden got elected. When he sat up there and told those Black Caucus members, stop asking for shit. You know what I mean? When they came out and gave these Afghani refugees not only a free ride to the United States, but $2,058 every 2 weeks. And then they settled a lawsuit with the Spanish people that said they got separated from their children. They gave them, starting out $450,000. For all those kids that were separated. And it was like, there's people literally going to the border and dropping their kids off. What type of responsible parent would do something like that and you don't know what's going to happen to your kid? And us black people, we don't do things like that. But what's happening now, and you see the best example of it, is these people pretty much, they reported us and they looked at who was following who. And if you follow somebody from Secure the Tribe, if you followed somebody from the Freedmen's Room or anything like that, they were systematically going down the block. And now if you notice, Steven, which is his sidekick, wasn't saying anything. He's the one going through everybody that was coming in the room, checking them. As soon as you got in, if you hold the space, you know that you can block somebody coming in, invite them to speak, or block and report. And what happens is that once we get blocked and reported, that's why I keep coming up, because I was like, I'm trying to figure out, okay, well, last week I know I cooked them. Because after I got done, 10 seconds after I got done speaking, the room ended. And this was a recorded space. So I go back to Luke's timeline, and he's like, and that space isn't up there. Well, how come the space isn't up there? Well, now, brother, you are not interested in what the regular black people have to say. This guy was just in a space 72 hours ago, asking a room full of a bunch of Beckys and some thoughts and stuff like that, you know, a lot of which he had a part to contribute to, asking them what was the wildest thing they ever did. And now you come here on a Sunday asking us black people should vote with Roland Martin. Roland Martin, of all people? Man, folks, come on. We already know what time it is. We done watched Tariq cook this guy. We done watched TBA cook this guy up. We done watched Roland Martin dance for Hillary Clinton. You know what I mean? These type of, they're not even Negroes. These type of folks, they never had our best interests at heart. And what's happening now is that
You still there, Chase? Chase, you still there? They're definitely messing with people's phones and connections tonight. Boy, I don't know what's going on. Let's try again. Chase, you still there? The brother was cooking too, so I hate to hear that. That he left. Get a chance to come back on, Chase. We'll definitely come back on. We'll let you go ahead and get back in the spot there. He was cooking, man. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what's going on with. Well, I do know what's going on, but it is what it is. I want to pronounce your name wrong, but I know Watson is your last name. What's the first name? Baha.
It's Bahi.
Bahi. Okay.
Yeah. Bahi. Yeah. I was just gonna say. I tried to get in that room, and I could hear the speakers for about 5 seconds, and then I couldn't hear them anymore. And I kept leaving the space, coming back. It kept doing the same thing. So I just assumed I got shadow banned from the space, so I didn't really get a chance to hear much. But when I went and logged in through another account, I had no problem. So I know, I was in the space earlier, and I was in the other room that Secure the Tribe had. I was saying how, initially when Luther Campbell, when he started the room, he said, I'm going to invite Roland Martin, I'm going to invite Joanne Reed. But once Roland Martin came in, that's when, I couldn't hear the speakers anymore. So, me and Roland kind of got into it on Twitter over the weekend because, he had this, I don't know if he got a GoFundMe trying to get his truck fixed or something like that. And, I'm just like, man, you do all that tap dancing for Democrats and they don't even give you enough money to fix your truck. So, and I'm just trying to figure out what kind of, this is something that's really unprecedented for years, Roland Martin has gotten passed over, by Democrats, not getting the press secretary position, not getting this position or that position, but he still is out here just ride or die for these Democrats. And, it's really sad because I know he's got to be like 50 years old. And you out here doing all this, 50 years old, and you got to get a GoFundMe for whatever truck or whatever van or whatever, man. It's sad, So I'm just trying to figure out, what kind of, they must got some dirt on him or something. For him to be out here like that. The other thing too is, I'm just trying to figure out who are paying these folks. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to be paying them. Is it the Democratic Party? Somebody's got to be paying Luther Campbell and Roland Martin, Joanne Reed to continue to neglect all of Black Americans' demands. So, um, it's just I'm glad that everybody keep putting heat on them. You know what I'm saying? Because they need some heat on them. Because we want tangibles. We want some policy for Black Americans. So I'm gonna land my plane right there, and I'll just end with that.
No doubt, I appreciate it. If they're not being paid, somebody done promised them some money or something, because they are definitely came in hard. Like we say, we keep seeing a flip flop with Luke. One minute he's one way on the stance, and the next minute he flip flops. Either one minute he's leaning against the Democrats, and the next minute he's a diehard Democrat. So I want to know exactly what's going on. Like I say, if they haven't had their palms greased, they must have a chance of possibly having those palms greased. That's why they flip flop back and forth or whatnot. And we already know Roland Martin is already a diehard. He is a Democrat first, and he is Black second. And that's a problem with too many Black people that we have in politics today. They put their party, they prioritize them over their own people.
Right. Well, I was gonna say, it seemed like I don't know. It seemed like to me that they got Luther Campbell on the same path that they had Puffy on, because Puffy came out that way. First he was, oh, we need something for our vote. Then at the last, oh, we need to just vote Democrat. We got to get Trump out. So it seemed like he's going down that same path. So I'm gonna drop down. Thank y'all so much.
No doubt, no doubt. And if you guys don't know, Newstoter is the largest curator of Black news today in America. We are the largest news aggregator curation platform today in America. Make sure you guys are following us on our YouTube channel. Make sure you're following us on our Facebook. Make sure you subscribe, like I said, to YouTube. Also, subscribe to the co-host as well. He has great content, very knowledgeable. So make sure you guys continue to support us. You can support us on Cash App as well. The New Black Media, the only way we can grow is with your contributions, because we do not get any money from mainstream America. Believe that. They are not trying to support a Black-owned platform that curates news and curates it with a Black agenda in mind. So $Newstoter. That is $Newstoter. We're going to get to well, hell yeah, then we're going to get to enough. So, well, hell yeah, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hashtag reparations now, hashtag Nazi death, hashtag anti-crime, anti-hate bill for us as soon as possible. This is getting ridiculous. Family, I was in the space with Tyrone and Tyra. FBA, can we bridge the gap? I don't know what the problem was, but I do apologize to everybody that I sent out a tweet to come listen to it. I greatly apologize. I had no idea that he was going to turn into the same bullshit type of space. I don't know what they're paying Roland, but I know they're paying his phone bill, because I made a comment and he jumped on my shit like I slapped his mother or something. It was just ridiculous. So for him to be his age and at the plateau of his career, whatever that is, it's really, really sad that he could respond to someone such as myself. Now, I'm a bad bitch, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't respond to somebody that I didn't know or cared about. So he's really grabbing for just anything. And lastly, I'm going through my followers right now, because I tried to do a message to someone and they blocked me. So I'll just say it this way: a block. If you block me, you're doing both of us a favor. So I thank you in advance. But you may want to go through your followers or whatever, because the people that you think that are still riding with you or whatever, I don't know if Twitter has gone in and did their little finagling or whatever, but it's not that serious. Twitter is a great avenue, but it doesn't have a force field around my fucking life. Okay, and none of us should really feel like it is a force field around our lives. We can say, we can do whatever we want to do, and if someone doesn't agree, that's what they keep telling us. That's what America is for. And lastly, I often wonder, the Ukraine are being bought and brought over to this to our home. So when Africans or the diaspora say, we have nothing against America, can you imagine if we had that fucking same gusto that they hit their women, beat their women, eat themselves, burn each other up and shit. To bring that type of kick-ass, you're not fucking with my brothers in America type of attitude, I wonder if it would change. But see, they don't bring that. We can't buy and bring nobody over like the Ukrainians because they're buying these motherfuckers and they bringing them over here to put their foot up in our ass. But they got something coming. They got something straight up coming. But I'm just letting you know, block me straight. Don't unblock me when things go okay because I'm going to be me. So, I mean, you know, I love y'all. Like I say, this ain't no force field around my life. You know, and I land my plane.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that, sis. Anybody that block you, shit, just block them back. Like, definitely, if they block you, there's no point even like crying over spilled milk. We're gonna move on with it. Enough. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to check my baby diaper. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. No problem. DJ, I see. Did you come back? I saw you clap for a second. I don't know if you came back or not. Or DJ, like he been in the Matrix, so I don't know exactly where he's at or whatnot. But yeah, man, like I said, this tonight when I saw this tweet here, and then the great thing about it, like we talk about the grassroots, everybody. When I went ahead and I tweeted out that space, and I was like, yeah, did y'all get a chance to check out this thing that's going on with Luke? Everybody started replying like, yeah, I'm up in the space, and I heard this, and I heard that, and this and that, and somebody, I can't remember which speakers said it, but like the space seemed like it had a lot of black immigrants in it. So when you have a lot of black immigrants in it, and you start talking about reparations for Black Americans, it seems to get a lot of feelings started to get hurt, and it's like, well, hey, and it's like this: if we can't get the reparations, and the Black Americans don't deserve it, and that's a dangerous mindset to have. Well, hell yeah, go ahead and unmute your mic.
If I may just interject with this little tidbit, you know, if somebody's going to hold a space and they want to drink $200 bottle of wines and throw it in our faces, I'm talking about Tyrone. The space that was, you know, FBA, can we build a divide? I think that's counterproductive. And I think anybody that's a co-host, if you have a host that is obviously drunk and slurring their words and saying, I don't give a damn, and how, you know, I come from money, and then whenever a person says anything, you know, to a comment, then you tag team your people that's in your audience. Some guy named Daz or whatever. I thought they needed a fucking room. I'm like, I was feeling embarrassed to say, I mean, should I still be listening? It was just that type of just back and forth. You know, well, John said, can you say that? Oh, he knows me. He knows what the type of person I am. I was like, okay, this is getting very, very uncomfortable. And then when they went into the same topics, and I made the comment, look, when we come into a room, and especially if it's a fresh room, if we're not talking about a room that had a room, that's something totally different. But if you're seeing something that's new on the playing field, and you say the same points that the past room, and then the whole room just changed, I was like, well, damn, I don't have to listen to any other spaces because I'll just listen to this person's space, and they'll just rehash what they just rehashed. It was insane. And when I made the comment, yeah, well, how can we, you know, build the gap when they're here? You got to give us some distance. They all up in our Kool-Aid. How can we build a gap when we don't have any space? And specifically when I said, you know, guys, when you're seeing that, you know, how come they said white people don't come at us Africans, you know, as hard as you black guys do. So I said, well, why would the white people come at you when they first came at you, they got your ass over here. They already been in your ear. What they gonna keep coming for? You already sold out. They've been in your ear before we even had the chance to tell you what was up with us. After I said that, so you know, I don't, you know, meaning harm anything like that. Blase, bitch was put down and listening. Anybody else that was talking, they were talking to the person 5 to 6 times over, continually saying how the Tariq had 500. Well, maybe they would have had 500 too if they didn't keep speaking to the same people. So Tyrone he acknowledged, yeah, I'm drunk, I'm fucked up. And we're talking about people's lives. We're talking about our future generations. And he wants to get on here and say he's fucked up and how he comes for money. Blew my motherfucking mind. I'm going back down to listener because I talked to the shit.
No doubt. I was in that space earlier, and it was a pretty decent space. I wasn't there the whole time. Let me say thank you to Michael for your contribution on Cash App, the Newstoter. the largest curator of Black news today in America. I was in that same space earlier. Marcel was in there. Ari Farmer. It was a bunch of us that was in there, And when I was in there, the space was pretty decent. I know the space went a long time, so I can't say exactly how it was, but the question was basically about a unity between Black immigrants and Black Americans. And when when Black Americans got up there, like they pretty much was saying, well, hey, a lot of this has to be on the Black immigrants themselves. I myself got up there and I spoke and I talked about all the stuff and all the lanes that we created as Black Americans for the entire Black diaspora that was not reciprocated. I said that all the HBCUs, at all the places that you can get educated in this country, HBCUs and stuff, there is not anything like that, any similar to that in Africa or the Caribbean, where we can come there and tens of thousands of us can get educated in these places like that. There's no culture in the Caribbean or Africa that we can come in there and infuse ourselves with and become millionaires and become wealthy and this and that. So it's totally been one side, one track, and I let people know that. So like I said, I wasn't in that space the whole time, but when I was in there, it was a pretty decent space. And like I say, and it wasn't there wasn't a whole lot of immigrants that really could go ahead and counter the points that we were making in that space or whatever. So yeah, I wasn't there the whole time. The host Tyrone, I didn't know that he got drunk or whatever, and he was saying that he was rich and this and that. I don't exactly know what that had to do with the conversation, but hey, oh well, you're a rich immigrant or whatever. That's nice to know, but that's not really helping the situation out at all. So, DJ, you back in the house, man? Like I said, I don't know what's up with DJ. I might have to send him a text or whatever because like he coming, he going, he coming, he going. This one have been one of the few spaces. Like I know he has sometimes some issues and stuff.
Anybody want to ask me? You can ask me. I put myself back in listener, but then I thought about it. That's not fair. So I'll just stay up and I'll shut up.
Oh no. You good, you good, you good, you good, you good. And anybody in the space that wants to speak about this, like I said, Luther Campbell has been a fixture in Southern rap and hip hop since the late 80s, early 90s. So my question here when I saw that is like, what in the hell is Luke talking about? Basically, a recap. He was talking about Roland Martin and this and that. And does Luke not know that the way to ingratiate yourself with Black Americans, especially, it's one thing if you talk about baby boomers and a lot of older Black people, but even a lot of older Black people are not big Roland Martin fans. But if you're talking about that we need to ingratiate ourselves and follow behind and tap dance about what Roland Martin is saying, man, you got a whole nother thing coming here because I'm gonna tell you straight up, I don't give a damn what Roland Martin says concerning Black people. So I am definitely not a Roland Martin fan. I do not support Roland Martin. I do not believe anything Roland Martin said. I've seen him too many times butt dancing up there in front of the camera. Roland Martin's interest is solely for himself. It's beneficial. How can he benefit from the struggle? Not how his people can benefit, but how he can benefit. And Luke, I'm trying to think now. Luke got to be close to about 60 years old. Luke is doing a lot of these spaces, and I think Luke, in a way, is trying to stay relevant as well because there's a whole generation of people that listen to hip hop don't know anything about Luther Campbell or Luke or Two Live Crew and his era of music and this and that. So this is a way for Luke to stay in the public eye by having these spaces and stuff like that, and also by going against the grain. Or not, he's not really going against the grain because he's supporting an agenda that a lot of Black people. We still got too many Black people that are diehard Democrats that think blue first and think Black second. And that is a very dangerous way of thinking at this point in time because thinking blue for the past 60 years has left us Black and blue. It has left us Black and blue. We can sit up here and we can keep trying having this whole unified party type thing, this and that, but come the 2022 elections, 2024 elections, we really need to start thinking about ourselves first. And one thing that I think about is what the great John Henry Clark said. Now, John Henry Clark was a Pan-African, and he made a point about one thing. He says that we have no friends in this world, and that kind of stuck with me. We have no friends in this world. He was talking about all the other groups and all the other races, all the other creeds and this and that. We have no friends in this world. But when you really break it down even further, it's to the point that Black Americans really have no friends in this world. Even the people that look like us, even the people that resemble us, even the people who are the same complexion as us or whatever, it's hard to say that these people themselves are our friends because from what we see from most of them, they don't respond like an ally. They're more of a nemesis. You know what I'm saying? So we can't even sit up here and say that these people that's supposed to be in our race are our friends because these people will stab us in the back in a minute. They will sit up here and call you lazy and worthless and shiftless and this and that. And you gotta stop. You're like, hold up, homeboy. Like last I looked, your country, has to get foreign aid from all these other white countries. So if we lazy and we shiftless and this and that, what's up with your people in your homeland? Then we get a bunch of excuses. Well, we've been discriminated against and we've been squeezed and we've been neo-colonialized. Now, you can experience racism even though your country is 90, 80, 85 to 90% black. But we, in a country where, well, we're only 13% of the population, been enslaved and everything else, we just coming up with excuses. We just sitting up here trying to fail. Knock it off with that. You coming here and you outperforming us and this and that. Because if you want to be honest, we can take the black population in this country and we compare their wealth, their education to the black people in your country and compare their education, their wealth, and everything else. So there is no competition. There is no comparison. So you need to stop talking about you're going to take 300,000, 400,000 people, even 1,000,000 people, and compare them to 40-some million people or 50 million people. That's ridiculous. Lorenzo, what's up? Go ahead and unmute your mic.
All right, good evening, fam. This is Arenza. Thank you to Net Control. I appreciate having the opportunity to speak on Newstoter tonight. I'm here in Chicago, Illinois, and I was about 5 blocks away from the Highland Park shooting. In fact, on my Twitter page, a lot of you guys saw my video, and I was real ticked off about it. The guy was on top of a roof. Anyway, to stay on point with tonight's narrative, and you guys have to forgive me, I've been off and on, off and on. I'm also hosting a nationwide hotline for the work and stuff that I do. But I wanted to jump off of that to jump on here and just say a couple of things. A couple of things have already been said about how the media is, along with the White House and all those guys in the Democratic Party are desperate to find a way to reach us. And, getting to Uncle Luke was not a surprise to me. They're looking at everything that makes us who we are as an attacking target. When they went after Bill Cosby, they also went after Eddie Murphy and Jamie Foxx and a couple of other celebrities. So you see, you guys got to watch the patterns, watch what they're doing, and that'll give you a lot of info. Oh, and I went to Evanston too, by the way. I went to Evanston, and it's not all that voucher my foot. Okay, whatever. The Ukraine conflict, no mistake. There's a pattern there. I'm trying to get you guys to look into these patterns, and when you see them, say something so that the rest of us will be able to notice it. All of this that you guys are seeing right now that's taking place are all desperation tactics to find a way to reach us. And there's no surprise about the war situation and us possibly going to war with China and Russia at the same time. They need anything and everything to distract us. So I'm trying to get you guys to watch and reply and relay back to us what you see. But I'm going to let you guys know everything I found out in days and weeks to come. I really appreciate Newstoter and the staff for giving me a chance to have the mic. I'm going to give it back to you guys. Thank you for having me. Back to you, Net Control.
Thank you, Renzo. Keep up your work out there, man. I know it's never glamorous and it's never anything really worth it's hard work. I can tell you that first and foremost. Thank you to everybody that's out there contributing. We got so many different people doing so many different things that sometimes you hear people saying, well, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. Everybody has their own lane. Everybody has their own specialty and this and that. So what works for one person might not work for another. So we just want to thank everybody who does get out there and they do grind in their own specific way, whether you're in the media, whether you're actually a foot soldier, whatever it is, man, just thank you and keep up the work or whatever, like, because it's definitely needed. It's definitely appreciated. I also want to thank you, Kimberly, from earlier for your contribution. thank you so much. Like I told you before, like I definitely appreciate it. So thank you for constantly always supporting and whatnot. So we definitely this is just something I felt like definitely needed to be. I wanted to come on a little bit earlier, but like I say, I was having such difficulty getting into the actual loop, to the actual loop Twitter space, that I was like, well, I didn't want to come on early and then have issues with my Twitter space. So I kept trying to see exactly what was going on. So it's good to know that everybody else was having issues and stuff like that getting there as well too, because I tried. I don't know. I tried about 10 times, and I could hear something sometimes, and other times I couldn't hear anything. So I was like, "Well, damn, is it the internet connection? Is it the phone? Is it what?" I ended up unplugging the internet and whatnot, and trying to do the cache and everything else. And I'm like, well, damn. Then I started going to other Twitter spaces, and I didn't have any issues. So I'm like, well, damn, it's got to be this. And then I thought about it too. Like, I went ahead and I created this Twitter space, and I scheduled it for 9:30. But at the same time, I was going into the other Twitter space, and somebody made a good point that the co-host mostly probably was looking at people's profiles. The co-host saw that I already had this Twitter space set up for the night, so he probably was like, well, yeah, it is what it is, though, man. Like I say, I am glad that we came and we was able to discuss this. As civilized people, that's one thing I want us to do, to constantly keep doing this, speaking civilized and whatnot. And like I say, we're not gonna always agree. And definitely tonight, I definitely had some issues with what Luke was saying or whatever. But it is what it is. DJ, I see you back in the space, man. I don't know what's up with the Kid Productions. Let's go ahead, man. Unmute your mic. You there? DJ.
Hey, you hear me? Going once, going twice. Going once, going twice. I'm in the building. Yeah.
Man.
Black people up.
I was wondering what was up with you, man. I'm like, damn, I called your name a few times. I'm like, damn, don't tell me you done got caught in the Matrix.
Nah. I'm up here in the mountains or whatever doing the delivery right now. So if y'all hear my GPS, don't be tracking me. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Hopefully y'all can still hear me because I'm way up in the mountains in New Jersey now.
No problem. Marcus, go ahead and unmute your mic.
What's going on? Peace to everybody. Thanks for allowing me the chance to speak. I didn't really get to catch much of Luther Campbell's space with Roland Martin, but I did get to do a lot of research in my downtime. I've been in a lot of meetings today. I'm here in Cleveland, Ohio, so if y'all familiar with the Jalen Walker situation, that's kind of been first and foremost on what I've been dealing with the last week. I say all that to say, from what I've seen, Luther Campbell is pretty much a Roland Martin. He's a media figure now. He's a political commentator for Miami New Times, which is owned by Voice New Media Group. Or I don't know if I said that correctly, but basically it's owned by a media conglomerate that leans a little bit liberal and will push him to do things like that he's doing. And what we've been seeing in the media space, in these spaces, and with his patterns is that these people like Roland Martin, Luke Campbell, what they're trying to do is get enough support or get enough people to say, oh, all these people follow me, like a voting block, and then they can go and sell themselves to different candidates and say, I have X amount of people who follow me, who follow my news media, who read my articles, XYZ, and then they get these people to they get exclusive interviews. It's all a media game. Long story short, like I get this person to do my interview, then I get money from the Democratic Party or the super PAC to get this person on to help get these people that I already have influence over to vote for said person. So with these people, no matter who holds the space, whether it's Luther Campbell, whatever, just follow the money. Generally, you can find where these people's intentions are, what they're trying to do. Obviously, I've heard a lot of great things. I've heard most of the space here tonight. Everybody's pretty much been on point. So, yeah, I see we all on code when it comes to Luther Campbell. If y'all hear people talking out of code, follow their money, see what they up to. Luther Campbell has been, let's say, an agent since 2012, because that's how long he's been in this media space as a political commentator now. He's no longer the 2 Live crew, I'm a rapper. No, he's out here trying to be a political commentator and sell himself to the DNC. So I'll land there and let somebody else have it.
No doubt. And Luke also ran for mayor of Miami. I can't remember what year that was. I think he came in 4th place. So you definitely proving some valid points. Now you were talking about the Miami Times. I know the Miami Times is a black-owned newspaper. To your knowledge, is it still black-owned?
No, I want to be specific. It's the Miami New Times that he writes articles for. So I don't know if that was black owned, but the people that I see that run Voice Media Group, they are not black. So I wouldn't believe in any way that this is black owned.
Okay, yeah, I thought because it's a Miami Times and Miami New Time, but one of them was black owned. I can't remember exactly which, but I thought one of them might be a black owned. And I know he also coaches down there. He's like some kind of coach with one of the football teams down there. I know people would give him credit because he did a lot of stuff in the community, whatever. With the youth leagues and stuff like that, so he has been active into that part. But like I say, just still because you're active in that part doesn't mean that you should be going ahead trying to sell us out on the political scene as well too.
Again, just on a follow the money type thing, just to stick to my point with you saying him. This ties back to him working for not working for, but essentially being a booster for the University of Miami. Of course, he would invest in the youth programs in the Miami area. Of course, he's going to want to be an influence into the next football stars that's coming out, so he can put them into the college. Again, if you follow the money, a lot of these people, like, they make themselves seem virtuous or that they give them back to the community, but they hand back for themselves, or what they give back for themselves, or the kickback is always there. And that's, I'm not trying to sit here and just completely shit on Luke, but that's pretty much what it was and what it's been.
Oh yeah, now I will agree with you on that point. Like, he does get in with these players and stuff like that. So a lot of these kids that do play in his youth leagues and stuff like that, they go to college and this and that. So he has a lifelong connection with them, whether they go to the University of Miami or they go to even the ones that go to different universities and different colleges and stuff like that. He still has a bond with them. He still has a connection with them. So I definitely get what you're saying on that aspect there. So I definitely, like I said, I definitely understand exactly what you're saying right there. Chase, I see you got your hand up again. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, Twitter is acting very, very funny, man. I want to make a point before I got cut off, man. The whole, in my opinion, and from what I observe, Luke has political aspirations. Okay, it's very unfortunate, and it's to his own detriment that he picked the wrong side to go with. When I was bringing up the point earlier, when everybody know how what's been going down in spaces, Luke brought it upon himself to come out and say that Bohemians built up Florida, built Miami, and and logically, I'm a thinking guy. I like to think that I'm a thinking guy. I didn't know that there was that many Bohemians in the world from the Bahamas that they just had such a massive labor force that they built up the whole state of Florida.
I'm in the state of Florida now. That's complete nonsense. Now I guess he's trying to say, because he was on a documentary one time about the creation of Miami, and he gave, not to cut you off, Chase, but I'm gonna let you get back, but he gave credit to the Bahamians and Black Americans for building Miami up. But let me just let everybody in the space know real quick. Like I said, I'm gonna let you get back. Miami today that you see is not Miami of 100 years ago or 50 years ago or Miami of 200 years ago. So, and also that Miami was, like I say, Miami of 200-300 years ago is not the Miami we see today. And the Bahamians, you had Bahamians that was coming over here, to my knowledge, you had Bahamians that was coming over here with the slaves that was in here. The Bahamians, a lot of them had their noses up, turned up, felt that they was free, felt they were better than the Black Americans that was even down there at the time, felt that you were just a slave, even though these fools were slaves too, and they were set free by the British. They felt that they were better than you. Florida was built up by Black Americans. Now you can sit here and talk about, he can sit here and talk about Miami and this and that, but Miami was not entirely built up by no damn Bahamians. So we can just stop that. The amount of Bahamians you had in Miami, it's not like you had 1 million Black Bahamians down there. So he can sit here, because I heard him on another documentary talking about the creation of Miami, but the creation of Miami really did not become this massive city really until, like, you're talking about the late 60s and 70s and stuff like that. So he can really stop all of that. But go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Nah, brother, you're good. I'm glad that you're adding the context to it. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, the thing is with Luke, okay, you didn't contribute anything positive to our society. You didn't write a Dear Mama. You wrote the Tootsie Roll. you're still out here in these rooms with these girls talking about thought culture, asking girls what was the wildest things that they have. Now, you a whole grown-ass man. Why are you in these Twitter spaces asking these young, impressionable girls about what their wildest fucking fantasies are? Excuse me, cursing. Apologies to all the sisters in here. But you see what I'm saying? This is the type of mindset that these folks carry. Bro, I remember back when Miami was Miami, there wasn't no bohemians running everything because the dope game was kicking in the 80s. From the 70s on down into the 80s. Everybody that's been here know that. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't no bohemians that was running shit in Miami. So, but you know, that's just their way of trying to insert themselves into being something more important than what they are. You know, Luke has no relevance. He hasn't had any relevance for decades. He's basically nobody. Your music was garbage. The only thing you did was brought out that partying culture and everything, and the shit that was carried over from the civil rights generation. You just carried that bullshit on. You helped carry and propagate thought culture. Okay? So you don't ever want to answer to that. And you notice what was the work that they put in tonight? The work that they put in tonight is that they are on a mission, and their agenda is not ours. Yeah, they pissed because, you know, we're starting to become politically aware. We're starting to become politically awake. Okay? And that's sad for everybody else. That is really sad for everybody else, man. And, you know, whenever you get these spaces and we reaching common ground and we building, there's always some wrench, some bed wench, some tether, some coon bystanders, something. You know what I mean? And the shit that I can't stand is that how a lot of folks is going after these young boys. Okay? I don't mean to call them boys, but you know, these younger men. I can't stand that. You're going after them for what? Because they're not scared, they don't see things like y'all do? Man, folks is not buying that role, that BS role. We have to vote for the lesser of two evils. What righteousness is about that? You're making a choice. Both of those choices are evil. So we telling you voting isn't working for us. Okay, so we vote on a local level. We bring in these judges and sheriffs and stuff like that. We can affect local politics. That we can do. These national politics, man, let these Democrats fall on their face. Everybody should. In my opinion, I think we should be abstaining for any federal vote. Any senator that's coming up for the vote now, let them Democrats fall on their face. But go and vote locally because your power is there locally. You can call your sheriff up, you can call the DA up, you can call those judges up, or you can vote them out of office. Man, look at all these things they do to us. And these folks still want us, we're going to give you nothing, but we still want you to come and vote for us. But you give the Mexicans money, you give the Afghanis money, you give the gay people money. You know what I mean? You come out with a hate crime bill for the Jewish people, and those folks that got massacred in Buffalo wasn't even in the ground yet. You came up with a hate crime bill, got it passed, and everything in 4 days. These people weren't even in the ground yet. Look at what they're doing. So these guys like Roland Martin and Campbell, these guys have ulterior motives. They do not have our interests at heart. So they don't want to see nobody like Newstoter or Keith or, you know, some brothers that's going to challenge them on what they stand on. Because they know, because we all know, they don't mean us no good. We know that. And I'll land my plane on that. Much love to everybody in the family. I love all of y'all.
No doubt. We appreciate that. And, you know, like I say, Luke's claim to fame was booty shake music back in the day, in the 80s. And he was like the pre-twerker. Like that music was like the pre-twerker. They call it booty shake music. It was coochie popping. It was all of that kind of stuff. So that was his claim to fame. And when Luke actually got honored, I think at the MTV Awards honors some years ago, he was saying that the artist that reminded him most of himself, and this was his words, the artist that reminded him most of himself was Cardi B. So, I mean, just put that into like a little bit of tone. Luke did not write, and Luke also didn't write any lyrics. Luke was just a promoter. Luke was just a hype man. It was all the artists. It was Trick Daddy. It was the Poison Clan with JT Money and all these other cats down south that a lot of y'all might not know and whatnot. Two Live Crew and those people, they were the ones that actually wrote the actual lyrics and stuff like that. He just was the front man. He just was the actual promoter and whatnot. So, yeah, that's just to let everybody know or whatever. I also want to give a shout out to Marcus and to Taylor for their contribution to Newstoter on Cash App. I definitely appreciate it, guys. I definitely appreciate your support and supporting the platform and whatnot. So I definitely appreciate that. And like I say, Luke has no chance. Luke ran for mayor in Miami. Luke, with his past, is not going to ever be. He's not going to ever win political office in Miami based on what Luke did. Luke, I remember years ago, came to Tallahassee when we had this thing called a Campbell. That was a that's something that the cap was put on and whatnot. They rent out this property and they had performers come in, this and that. This is back in '98. This is back in the day. And Luke had some girls come on stage and they started doing some wild stuff. I didn't even go. My boys and them told me. He had some girls on stage doing some wild stuff, and they banned Luke out of Tallahassee for he was banned out of this city for at least 10, 12 years. Like, they weren't even trying to have it. So, what Luke is saying and this and that, Luke can sit up here, he can write for the Miami Times, he can write for the Sun Sentinel, he can write for the Miami Herald. He will never, ever, 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 ever hold any major political office anywhere in any spot in Florida. I can assure you that. Like I say, I was in 5th grade and this man was getting locked up and whatnot for decent exposure and everything. And like Luke and NWA, their time coming out was around about the same time. You had one on the West Coast, and you had the other one in the South. So those parental advisory stickers was both coming out for both of them. And like I said, Luke, every time you turn around, he was getting arrested down south and whatnot. So, Chase, I'm gonna let you go ahead and finish your point, and then we got another hand that we got TS up in the spot, y'all. TS.
Hey, brother. I like to add. Hold on, TS. Hold on. Brother, I like to add on what you're doing. I think you're being kind of nice. You know, Luke had indecent exposure charges. This man literally pulled out his penis and put it in the girl's mouth on stage at one of his concerts. Okay? And you think that you could be somebody's mayor? He literally did this shit. They got videotape of him. This is part of the reason why he had those troubles. But now, I have a problem because I got a daughter. You understand me? I don't want my daughter going to one of these bullshit ass concerts, seeing some immigrant Negro doing some shit like that. You know, so man, go ahead, tell the truth of what he is. You know what I mean? He's a degenerate. He's a degenerate person. He's not meant in any capacity to lead anything for black people. And he damn sure don't talk for black people. I land my plane on that. Much work, good work, brother. Good work.
Thank you. Appreciate it. T.S., I see you already getting ready to get started. Like, go ahead. And I heard you say you made a remark that the man was xenophobic. So tell me, how is a brother xenophobic? What did he say that was xenophobic?
Well,
go ahead.
So first, thank you, host. Now, Newstoter, some days I like you, other days I don't know. I don't know what you be giving. Now, you say that you're an independent black on news source, but are you truly a black conservative news source? So what's your ideology? Because I don't know what you give sometimes.
I'm not conservative. I'm not liberal. I'm not anything. Only thing I am is black.
So you're not. What party are you registered?
I voted Democrat most of my life, but until the last election, and I didn't vote Democrat. So I'll be honest with you. Most of my life, I voted Dem. Let me finish.
Donald Trump.
Why does that matter? Why does that matter?
Wait, hold on. I got it. I did not vote. Wait, hold on. Let me finish. I didn't vote for Trump, and I didn't vote for Biden. In fact, I did a fill-in here in Tallahassee. I actually put in the place in place of the presidential election. I put in the FAMU head coach named Willie Simmons, because I wasn't going to vote for two rednecks, and that's what I consider both of them, rednecks. No matter if one's a Democrat, one's a Republican, they both was two rednecks.
Are you a rattler?
No, I'm not a rattler. I have a bunch of family members that did graduate as rattlers, though.
Not to say. Anyway, not you playing games and wasting votes when our ancestors died for the right to vote.
My ancestors didn't die for me to be a magpie and sit up here and vote for people that aren't going to do anything for my race. They didn't die for that. And let's be for real. Let me be crystal clear with you. My ancestors, when they first started dying, voting didn't have a damn thing to do with it. They was dying simply because they was black. Now, can you dispute that?
My ancestors certainly fought, and I said died, but they were really murdered for the right to vote.
But I'm saying before voting ever became an option, my ancestors were murdered and killed for the simple fact that they were black.
That's not a fair question, because of that.
That is the God's honest truth, and you know it. Before voting ever became an option, they were killed and they were murdered simply because they were black.
So it wasn't an option.
Oh,
but of
Lord.
course, as you know, society, of course.
Hey, Tia, let me ask one question.
Chase, hold on.
Hold on. I just one simple question. Please, Tia Giselle, just answer this one simple question. And it's a yes or no question, sister, okay? Did you sign a petition to say that FBA was a hate group? Because there's one time. Hold on, you did?
Yeah, that's not a secret.
Oh my God!
So anyway,
Damn.
let me answer the
Oh my
question.
God! You were the happiest
That's
friend
a he, guys.
in the world.
That
You
is
need to
a
stop
he.
trying to
That
look
is
like
a
that.
he.
Oh, I'm gonna let y'all get to it in 1 minute. 1 minute. I'm gonna let you Chase. Let's just hear. I want to hear what she says, Kimberly. I want you to actually chime in too. I want her to actually go ahead and finish her point, though. I really do. I want to really hear exactly what she's got to say, because, like I say, she's already sit up here and said that I wasted a vote. Now, two people who haven't done diddly squat for black people, I'm supposed to just cast a vote and I guess play this game with a lesser two evils. So I want to exactly hear. We'll get into the FBA as a hate group and this and that as well, but I want to see. She said that because I'm an independent source. I say I don't believe in conservatives or liberals. I believe they're both full of it. I have some liberal views that I feel are okay. I have some conservative views that are okay. Like most people, I'm a mix of a moderate or whatever, but I don't consider myself a Republican or a Democrat. I am completely independent. I am no longer on the Democrat plantation. Go ahead, TS. Unmute your mic. Go ahead and speak.
I understand that, but you do realize that makes you an outlier in Black American culture, because 90% of eligible Black voters vote Democrat. Don't you recognize that?
I know this.
Yeah, so I didn't go into the Uncle Luke's, but by the way, I love Uncle Luke's music. I love to dance. He makes great hits. I'm 35.
Man, get that piece of shit friendly out there, man.
But what do you guys want? It's a complaint every day with this organization, with everything. I thought that you guys liked Uncle Luke, because I thought that Uncle Luke was promoting Black Americans not to vote. So what changed? Is it because more ethnics discovered that he is Bahamian and Jamaican, and then because he has an immigrant background, instantly disliked him? Because Uncle Luke was being pushed. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Trotter. Uncle Luke was being pushed early on by FBA, but then suddenly, I don't think that a lot of people knew that he was not FBA heritage. Once it became apparent,
we always knew that.
Just like Roland Martin, even though Roland Martin is very much like a
Wait. We always knew that Uncle Luke was Bahamian. So we always knew that he was Bahamian. The thing with Uncle Luke that people, you had a lot of black people, FBA, you want to say, when he started pushing for Kamala Harris a couple years ago, you had a lot of people that didn't like that. But then when he came back and he was saying, well, why?
People like Kamala? they didn't like Kamala because she's Jamaican.
No, they didn't like Kamala because she said she wasn't going to do anything strictly
Because
for
in my
black
home
people.
state, she locked up a bunch of black people. That's why. Because I'm from California, and she locked up a bunch of black people.
Okay, everybody, we're going to do it one at a time because we're talking over and we even talking over the host. So let's show a little bit of restraint. Marcus, you can get in here. Chase, you can get in here. Everybody can get in here. I'm going to let TS go ahead and land her plane in a second, and then y'all can go ahead. But I'm going to go ahead and we're going to try to just keep a little bit of order in here because sometimes, especially when TS comes in here with her point of view, things start to get wild. So I'm going to go ahead and unmute it. No, everybody raise your hand that wants to speak. Raise your hand, keep your hand up. I'm going to let TS say her thing, and then we're going to go ahead and let you guys also get in there too. So let's go ahead and raise our hand, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to pass it around. TS, like I said, people did not like Kamala for the fact that Kamala sat up there and said she was not going to do. She already had a track record of voting, of doing things against black people, and she sat up there and said that she was not going to do something specifically for black people, while we saw she did something specifically for other groups. So that's the point that people didn't have. You always try to make it because this person's mixed, this person's mixed. So you've had plenty of mixed people in this country, from Booker T. Washington, W.B. Du Bois, to Frederick Douglass, that had mixed ancestry that black people absolutely love. So let's stop it. You just sit here like everything is always.
I'm referencing every day. Every day is a friend group of Black Americans told me it's not a representation as a majority. The majority of Black Americans love Kamala. That's why she's the vice president.
No, the majority of Black Americans don't love her. They've been voting for the same party for 60 years.
Who only got 2,500 votes. She got 90 million votes.
So why, if they love her so much, why she couldn't win the presidency? Why she got kicked out early on? If they love her so much, she had to ride as a vice president candidate. If she was so beloved, why she couldn't come out as a presidential candidate? Since black people just loves her so much.
So she was actually within the top 5 of the Democratic nominees, but she was able to agree with Biden that he would nominate her as vice president. That's very
my God! Because she had no realistic chance of winning. Stop it.
Electability from a general election, that matters. Clearly FDA did not look at electability. That's why Marcel was destroyed by Jim Clyburn. Electability. So let's not talk about electability. Anyway, that's not the point of why we're here. To me, it just seems like it's just constant complaints. If no one fits your narrative, you guys complain about them. There was definitely support for Uncle Lou. I don't know what he's changed, so it's not big of a deal to me. It's just, what is the complaint now? Because from what I understand, Uncle Lou and Roland Martin were advocating for black people to start voting at the local level, which is something that I agree with. So what is wrong with that stance? In my opinion,
there's nothing wrong with that stance. If as long as you have.
I finished. Don't let me run your book for you.
Oh, you ain't running nothing here now. You ain't running. Yo, okay.
Acting like you guys don't understand my jokes. So annoying. Anyway.
Go ahead, and get ready to hurry it up because we got a bunch of people that want to speak now. So go ahead.
I just think that you guys like to complain a lot. I think that you guys want to echo chamber. The reason the room turns up when I come in is because I'm not a part of your echo chamber, and I challenge everything that you guys say. As for Chase Savage, his comment was clearly xenophobic. He referenced someone in their immigrant background. That's xenophobia. Google xenophobia. We've been discussing FBA xenophobia all day. Let's get back to the topic of truly discussing reparations, get off of this immigrant topic. If anything, FBA has made it more difficult for black people to get reparations. Move beyond these pointless topics.
Respectfully, okay, I'm going to ask you something. Okay, are you over 40 years old?
Dude, I'm like over 40 to you.
Wait a minute.
Boss bitch, bad bitch, never average. You know I'm not 40. Stop it.
Okay, so now, okay, I want to have a perfectly respectful dialogue with you. Okay, so now you do know that there has been a progressive reclassification amongst black people, redefining that
going from Negroes to color to
right. Okay, so now here's the thing. We went from Negro to being black. We went from Negroes to being colored to being black to being everything else. Now, what has happened is that everybody who was in chattel slavery and came out of that time period, we were all, every last one of us was traumatized. And what we are experiencing now is that we're looking at these young people coming up and they are saying, hey, listen, you're not going to redefine me. And I'm going to point to the example with your case. You transitioned, you had a personal evolution of progressing yourself to become Giselle, right? Yes or no? Is that a yes? Whatever.
yes.
Oh, okay. So what I'm trying to say is, our young nephews, our young nieces, our young brothers, our sons, and our daughters, they are not wrong with progressing the definition of black and the lineage that came out of slavery.
Yeah, that's just not true. Delineation is not a problem. We really have like American reparation.
Listen.
Okay, Chase, I'm gonna get back to you because we got a couple new people. Hold that thought, because you and TS is gonna keep going back and forth, and we got Kimberly and Marcus and Shango haven't had a chance to speak yet. So let me hold that thought, Chase. I'm gonna get right back to you. We just want to go ahead and work around the room so everybody can get a chance. Shout out to my man DJ for contributing to Newstoter. Also on Cash App, shout out to my man DJ. $Newstoter. That's $Newstoter. If you'd like to contribute to the new black media. Miss Kimberly, sweetheart, go ahead and unmute your mic for me, please.
Thank you, Newstoter. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this off with this. People always trying to write a check that they behind can't cash. So, I'm thinking a lot about, I've learned in the day when you bust a person in the mouth, they lips so swole they can't speak no more. So you have all these public welfare issues going on that is basically destroying the lives of Black people. You have, oppression going on that is basically destroying the lives and interests of Black people. And you got these fake politicians that can easily write policies and laws for every other group except for Black people. Now you got to be deaf, dumb, blind, and stupid for you not to see that, first of all, you got more Black men for some bunk reason incarcerated. Or you got more Black men getting their jobs taken from immigrants who come in and copycat, steal swag, and then tries to replace us, and everybody look the other way. Or just say, oh, it's okay, and kiss their tail. Okay? We are at the point now we're just simply saying, let's draw the line in the sand with some boundaries. No more diversity because we can't trust you all. You guys are Judases and you're backstabbers. You ride on the back of either Black power, Black women power, or Black man power. You substitutes and copycats our policies and our rights. You come in here with that blasphemy talking about how we hate you all, and y'all actually have nothing but hate for us. And the only reason why you have that hate is because in your bloodline, you're full of unrighteousness. You don't know how to repent. You don't know how to apologize. You don't know how to do about face. So what you keep doing is you get on the wrong side of things where the ground is about to open up and swallow you fools up. You're too stupid to understand right is right and don't wrong nobody. Black people ain't did nothing wrong to this country. First of all, Black people didn't even consent to be here. Black people didn't ask the white chattel slaveries to go over there to Africa and steal us and put us in the valley of the beast and bring us over here. We didn't consent to them taking our name, our language. We didn't consent to them hanging us on trees, taking our children and feeding them to the alligator. We didn't consent to them burning and mobbing and raping us.
They are ready, and I am ready, and a whole bunch of the attorneys and human rights are getting ready to charge both the state and the federal with criminal violations and crimes of human rights. Now, I'm tired of the entertainment who also intrude, invade, and say things that are definitely, defamatory, slanderous, and invading our rights. So also, we're going to put together some black policies that is actually going to drag a lot of you unorthodox. I was going to say something else, but I'm trying to be respectful. You unorthodox thinkers into court, and that very money you keep taking out of our pockets, you will be paying us in a whole bunch of settlements because we're getting sick and tired of you guys doing what you're doing and won't even stay on your side. You won't even stay on your gay, lesbian, whatever it is you're trying to do side. You're so blaspheming with your mouth. You even come over here in the area and a space that has nothing to do with you. And you only come over here to be toxic. You only come over here to try to make someone bow down, cower down, threaten them, bullying them, trying to persuade people to see your way. And the way you're going is unrighteous. And you know at the end of the matter, all you guys gonna have to give an account to the great I am. And he don't want to hear it because you already damned and judged. Only thing you guys are actually doing is corrupting the world. And the righteous people have to stand up. People have to see that there's a better way. You got all these mothers, you got all these single people in here that's barely paying their bills, and they work. They got doctor's degree, and you got Asians coming in here with that Chinese communist don't care about nobody but their own organization taking their jobs. And all you guys, you fake black people can do is lie for a check, entitlement, to sit in the community because you're no threat. So you sit in the community amongst our enemies, which you should be hanged, but you sit in there with them anyway so you could talk bad about us. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You really should. And I'm tired now. You know what? I'm going to say this because I'm really getting tired of you coming here as a man. You born in this world as a man. You change. You decide. I'm talking. You decide to change. You decide to change your nature because you are lusting after a man's private part. That's on you. But now, when you decide to do being a hypocrite, you go both. You go back and forth, back and forth. Not being sensitive because you can't be sensitive because you're really a man, so you don't have what
a big man.
And you don't have what women have to understand that that's the reason why God created us to help men to understand, okay, consider. Men can sometimes be a little dogmatic. They can be a little too strong. And so,
Big too. Big
and so
Hey,
God,
let her talk, Shango.
And so God decided to create women so we can ask men to consider. The Bible said a wise man will consider, but you a fool. You're a fool to change your nature. You're a fool to come up against the norm. You're a fool to come up against the righteous. You're a fool to try to say that black people are just trying to say we want what's right. We made these civil rights laws for everybody, but we're the one who's last getting anything. Don't nobody got the right to make somebody work for free and don't pay them. My ancestor, the very ones you call and you don't even know because you're only 35 years old. So what do you know? So here you talking about my grandmother who came from in Virginia, my father's them and my mother in Texas that picked cotton and did these different things to make it your rights available for you to have a voice. Then you come over here and you start disrespecting them with your trickery, because that's all it is, and you think you're getting away with it, but tricks are for kids, silly rabbit. We ain't got time for that. We ain't got time for that, okay? And you talk about my parents that was in those fields that was lynched, burned, and their back was dragged so that you can have a voice that you don't even know how to use for righteous sake. For righteous sake, you don't even know what that even feels like, that even sound like you such at the bottom of the barrel when it comes down to moral fiber. You come into spaces being just very toxic and disrespectful, illegally wrong, talking crap. And I'm sick of it. And I'm telling you, the state, the federal, your lawyers, everyone is out there. I'm sitting behind these back. I'm the Moses in the back desert, girl. I love Harriet Tubman. I'm sitting here writing policies and violations. So I can come for you fools, because that's all you are. You guys are entertainment fools. You know, you're civil rights violators, fools. You're immigrants to come over here and don't know how to show any hospitality to people who've already been here and suffered. You don't know how to support us. You don't know how to love us. You don't know how to care for us. You don't even know how to ask us for our help or how you can help us. So I'm contemplating. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Me and Brother Todd is working on something right now today, because I hadn't had a chance to talk to him what I was working on. I was just listening. But now you know. And it's going to be nationwide, because you're going to see legal papers and pleading saying I'm filing charges against you fools. I'm filing charges against you fools for human rights violation. I'm sick of you. I got my children in prison. You know, I'm sick of y'all for nothing they did. You running around here worried about us and voting. They arrested 8-year-old little boys, 8-year-old little girls for nothing. A bag of potato chips. Why you ain't using your gay and lesbian power and all life matter and get somebody out there and protest that May the 14th shooting? Because you ain't about nothing. So take your man want the man to talk to you like a woman, you're not. And then you want the black women to respect you as a woman, and you're a man. You ain't get any one of us to feel for you. Go in your own lane, drive your own car, because we see you. And you uncovered, you naked, and you undone.
Is the
Wicked Witch of the West finished? The Wicked Witch of the West. Is she finished? Yeah, so a very
you ought to be a big strong man
a very nasty, hateful woman.
Okay, I'm gonna mute it just for a second, just to get order back in the room. I'm gonna go ahead and mute it just for a second. I know Kimberly, she's always passionate, so I know when she comes in, I know like the entire room's gonna shift when she goes in. I know TS is also gonna come back and keep going on and on and on and on and on and on. So what I want to do is that we got a couple people that's still waiting patiently. We got Marcus waiting, we got Queen B waiting, we got Shango waiting. So we want to go ahead and try to get back to those people real quick. And then TS, I know, like I said, I know you're going to keep chiming in or whatever. So we got a couple other people that's waiting. So let me let Queen B. Shango, I'm going to need you just to kind of, I know you want to get in there, brother, but go ahead and just kind of wait your turn or whatever, because you probably get third after Marcus, after Queen B and Shango. You next, so go ahead and then TS, we got Chase, and then we'll get back to you. Like, we trying to let everybody touch the mic. You know how we try to do. We try to let everybody touch the mic in here. So Marcus, go ahead and unmute your mic.
All right, thanks for letting me speak again. It's a lot to address here. I'll say a couple things before I gotta go. When I think 35-year-olds know something, I'm 35 myself, but that's not here nor here. In terms of what TS was speaking to, I just think a lot of it is coming in here to be toxic, and I think that we all that are listening should use this as a lesson, because there was not a genuine attempt to even broach the subject matter that is posted at the top of this spaces. It was just, I didn't listen to the space. I really don't understand why you FBAs is mad. Y'all always complaining. It was a bunch of toxic shots that really weren't even based in facts. Like, if FBA is a hate group, then call Caucasians a hate group. Have they done enough to fulfill what you would call a hate group? Have they lynched enough of us for them to be considered a hate group? Because FBA is just a determination of group of people, like a lineage, if you will. So I don't understand how somebody can come in here, make no real attempt to speak to the subject matter, and completely take the room off topic. So just for me, at first I started to respond in good faith, but none of the attempts were made in good faith. Like nothing you said was made in good faith. It was just based on whatever you've been fed, whatever you've been told, whatever you wanted to come in here and stir up, and maybe even if it's really that plausible, and not that much that it's not plausible, that you're just here to rile people up, to get some talking points that you record and to take back to your base of people to say, see, this is how they talk, this is what they do, this is how they came at me because you came in here and literally just insulted all these people that are in here to speak freely about what they felt in the space. And now people are spending more time responding to you than they are talking to the subject matter at hand, which is what happened in that space. So it's really a sad attempt at trolling. I hope most of y'all learn to block these people, because if somebody wants to come here and speak in genuine good faith that has a counterpoint or has a disagreement or has a different viewpoint, especially somebody who has lineage that we have, we should definitely engage in that conversation. But just telling people to vote like 90% of black people like that, you sound like old boy from Django. What was the character name that Samuel Jackson played? Like, we just got to keep tap dancing to whatever anybody else tell us, because that's what the rest of everybody else going to go with, or some of us going to fight for the revolt? Because I need the people that's going to fight for the revolt. And if that's just 10% of us, then this goes 10% of us going to fight for the rest of the 90%. Because that logic don't make sense. That would have kept my people in chains. That would have kept my people being strange fruit off trees. So, yeah, I'll land there. But and just for the people the other people in the room, let's start to deal with people in good faith. And if they're not making a good faith attempt to counter something we really talking about, let's not give them that energy.
First of all, I know the host and co-host. I don't know who you are. You only have 417 followers. Get your followers up before you come for me, period. Next speaker.
Points are valid.
Wait. Well, I gotta be. Hold on. I'm sorry. Can I just respond to this? If you want to come back with an insult?
Wait, hold on, because we just trying to keep order here, because we got Queen B waiting and we got Shango. Chase, we're gonna go back and get back to you. So let's just go ahead, because we're trying to go ahead and go around the room. So Queen B, go ahead and unmute your mic.
I don't really know what else there is to add. I think Marcus said everything well. I guess I just have a hard time understanding why, if somebody thinks that FBA is a hate group, why they insist on going into the FBA rooms. If you feel like it's a hate group, why do you insist on coming around?
Yeah,
sounds like you love us. Sound like you love us.
Yeah, I'm pausing it just for 1 second. I know everybody, when TS comes in, we kind of get off topic, but if we can, let's try to get back on the Uncle Luke and the Roland Martin and the Democrats and that type of thing as much as possible, because it seems like now that the conversation has been totally steered from what we was talking about. So let's try our best. I know it's hard because TS knows how to pull people's strings, and once everybody goes in, it becomes, then the room just becomes about TS instead of about what the actual topic is. So we was having a great conversation. If you guys want to talk about TS and about the conversation, that's one thing, but let's try to steer it back on what it was. Not to cut you off, Queen Bee, because I don't really like hitting the mute on whatnot, but it seems like now the center of attention now is TS instead of the actual topic, which, the room was set up. I didn't set the room up to talk about TS Giselle. I set the room to talk up about Uncle Luke and Roland Martin and the Democrats and the agenda and this and that. So let's try our best to try to go ahead, because that's the only thing I will say. Whenever TS comes into the room, like, man, once she starts talking and stuff like that, it takes the entire attention away from like the conversation, and it's hard to get it stirred back. Everybody just focuses on her instead of the conversation. So, and that's what she wants too, to a certain degree. Like, she enjoys that. So, come on, man, let's just go ahead and try to, if we can, Queen B, let's just try to talk about Uncle Lou. Let's talk about his Twitter space tonight if we can, and this and that. And if you want to mention TS in the midst of that, somehow connected to it, I'm totally fine with that. But let's just try to, if we can, just try to steer the conversation back. Sorry to unmute you, but go ahead and speak.
Okay, now let's get to the topic.
Wait, hold on. We got
about Luke Campbell. Let's talk about Luke.
Excuse me, Queen B, you finished?
Her mic off.
Her mic is off.
Okay, it's back on. Sorry about that. So agreed. Newstoter agreed. So I said pretty much what I wanted to say earlier about Luke Campbell. And I would just say to anybody who thinks that we should just give our vote away with nothing in return, that doesn't make any sense. You know, you vote, it's a quid pro quo thing, and you vote because you're voting to get something. You don't just vote to keep somebody, you know, to keep them in power and they're not giving you anything. And it sure doesn't make any sense to just vote for somebody just because traditionally people have been doing it. And what they say about the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and expecting different results. So if we as a group of people have been doing the same thing and not getting anything, well, then we're insane. So it's time that, you know, we do something different. So I'm definitely not a proponent of just giving my vote away to somebody. And I agree with what you said, Ms. Toter. I mean, that's not why our ancestors died. That's not why they did that. They would not be like, oh, yeah, just go ahead and vote no matter how bad, you know, this party treats you, or just to keep them in power, just vote. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. And that doesn't say that to me, that just is an insult to my ancestors, who I know were very, very smart people. And that's not what they would want for me to do. So I'll land there. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. I appreciate it. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna kick the mic to you, Shango. Before I kick it to you, yeah, I just like I hate when people always say that. Like they talk about, well, our ancestors died for the right to vote. Your ancestors died for a lot of different things, and voting would be towards the middle, towards the end of it. Before a vote was even up there for them to cast, they was getting killed and murdered. So I just, when I hear that all the time, it's always about they died for the right to vote. What happened when they was just enslaved? When there was no vote for them to vote. Does that count, or does it not count until to Reconstruction and until the 1900s and stuff like that? So, yeah, I have a little issue with that. So, Shango, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Okay, all right. Now, first of all, it's going to be hard to avoid certain topics because I might want to talk about Luther Campbell with the wig on. Or I might want to talk about Roland Martin with the wig on. There's someone in here who is the direct replica of everything that a Democrat is. Planned Parenthood with the gender assignment and all of that. Running around here and belittling black people as if we are just some type of topic of discussion to be talked up amongst your crowd, which don't even show you any attention. You're in here amongst us. Why don't you go over amongst your following, your many following? Because I don't see any of them as being influential people at all. You're all a bunch of weirdos, and I don't want to be associated with you or be around you. Miss Democrat.
Yeah, okay. Is that all you got?
I know a nigga that's not following a trans with 50,000 followers speaking to me. Period. Check your followers. Mutual.
I speak, yes, and I go into all of the rooms, and I talk the same thing in all of their rooms, in all of their spaces, the same way you come in here. Yes, I do. Indeed. Any more questions?
Newstoter, just let me know when it's my turn in the queue. I'm gonna shut up.
All right. We got Chase, and then we got DJ. You got your hand up. You hadn't said anything. You want to say something before we go to Chase?
No, I'll let Brother Chase go ahead.
Okay.
What's
Chase,
up,
go ahead.
What's up, everybody?
All right, what's up, family? Man, peace and blessings to everybody. Man, bottom line is there are people amongst us that don't mean us any good. Period. Put whatever label you want on them. They do not mean us any good, and it's apparent by their actions. Okay, what we need to do is just like totally stop dealing with these people. Our young folks are dying and getting murdered in the streets every day. And you get stupid ass people coming here worried about a fucking, because they want to add a pronoun to their name. You know whose vote doesn't matter? Jalen Walker's vote doesn't matter. Breonna Taylor's vote doesn't matter. And these people keep coming around us with this bullshit. And I'm tired of it. Bro, listen. Go amongst your own people. You literally want to name our people as a hate group. There are FBA children that have not even been born yet, and you want to classify them into a hate group, into a fucking hate group. What in the, man, look here. Man, peace and blessings to y'all brothers, and I tried very hard. Y'all know, man, y'all know I'm a rational brother, bro. But I really, I can't suffer no fools, bro. You can't sit up here and tell me that these children that's not even born yet, that's coming up from our genetic tree in our brain, and you are a part of trying to label them as a hate group? What in the fuck is wrong with you? People like that. What in the hell is wrong with y'all? Y'all want to name my son, who's 4 years old, as a hate group because I'm his father? Come on, man. Listen, man, black people, look, I love y'all. We should not be even having any type of conversation with these type of people. These type of people, I told y'all over and over again, they mean us no good. You notice we don't give a damn about somebody being gay, trans, or whatever, but we are against people that's trying to kill our bloodline, and we are against the people that's trying to help them white people kill our bloodline. Man, I apologize for my behavior tonight. I'm just, I'm speaking from a very solid place, bro. You can't label our unborn children into no fucking hate. If you're on that side, you're not on the side of black people. This is the question you got to ask yourself before you anything else. This is a question you got to ask yourself. Do you mean to do black people good? Or do you just don't give a fuck? I land my plane on that.
No doubt, no doubt. Before I go ahead and kick it back to TS, I just want to say this much. I know, and I get DMs and stuff like that, and people say, well, why are you letting TS speak? Why are you letting TS speak? When the room started up, we had a great conversation, and we had quite a bit of hands that was up, and people was asking questions. They were putting their statements in. They were saying this. They were saying that. And as when TS got ready to come up, TS' hand at the time was the only person whose hand was up. So, to keep the conversation going, and TS told you straight up, like, she told you straight up that she doesn't agree with me most of the time and this and that. She doesn't like me sometimes and this and that, which is fine or whatever. I could care less or whatever. But she did have her hand up. And, and since there was nobody else hand up, the natural order of things is to go ahead and let her talk. I know TS comes in with an agenda. I'm sure she feels I have an agenda, this and that. She's already said pretty much that I'm biased and I'm this and I'm that. And, it may be some truth to that. I'm sure I do have some biased views and stuff like that. Certain things I'm not going to go along with. Certain things I don't believe. But I'm an independent media source, and certain things I have to go out and put out whether I like it or not or whatever. So, hey, it is what it is. But I know I always get tweets, I always get DMs of people saying, well, "Why you let TS talk?" I don't want to hear this, and I don't want to hear that. My only thing is that, hey, for those who don't want to hear TS talk, please go ahead and raise your hand and ask questions. Let's keep the conversation going. But when you don't, and the conversation gets kind of stale or it kind of slows down some, this is what these spaces are for. These spaces are to communicate, to have conversation, to talk. So we have to go ahead and we have to try to keep the conversation going as much as possible. I know y'all don't want to hear me the whole time. I don't want to hear myself the whole time. I want to have interaction and I want to have conversation with you guys, and especially you guys that support the content. Whether you tweet it out, you reply, and you leave comments and this and stuff daily. So I definitely want to have you guys talking and speaking or whatever as much as possible, whatever. So that's just my thing. When the conversation, TS was the only person that had a hand up at the time, and it's just natural. You got to go ahead and let TS speak on it. And a lot of times I didn't, before I'll be honest, a lot of times I didn't let TS come in because I felt that she was going to troll or this and that. But hey, I feel like we all intelligent people here, and we can handle it for the most part. I know sometimes we have to get our emotions in check or whatever because she is going to push buttons, but that's what TS does. I mean, let's face it, we all know this by now that she comes in here, she's ready to stir up the hornet's nest, and she loves doing that. So At the same time, like she told me about the black people voting and this and that, I don't pay that stuff no mind because I'm gonna vote or I'm not gonna vote, and I'm not just gonna vote for anybody just for some kind of exercise or whatever futility. If you haven't done anything in 60 years for my people, then you're not gonna do anything this year and in 2 years from now. That's just the way it is right there. You've had plenty of opportunities to do something for black people, so it is what it is. I'm gonna let you get to it, Kimberly, but I'm gonna let TS. I told her that I'm gonna go ahead and let her say what she's got to say. So TS, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, so first off, Newstoter, I just think that it's sad that you have to defend why you bring it up. You're a member of the media. So the media should always be open to have open conversation, open dialogue with people that agree and disagree with this. That's why I choose to come to your spaces. And I don't come to your spaces to troll. I go to other spaces to troll, but not this one because I recognize you as a media source and, to legitimize you as well. Um, but I think that it's sad that you have to defend why you bring it up. I think that word comes from the transphobia from some of the female speakers on stage. We're not going to get into that though. I'm just going to rebut um, for the elderly pastor in the room. I mean, there's a separation of church and state. That's all I need to say to that. Um, the vitriol that you know, speak to me is it just comes from a very negative, bad place. But as long as I have the white liberal Democratic Party, will always defeat people with their mindset, and that's why I will always vote Democrat because as a black and trans woman, I know that I'll always have white liberal Democrats on my side. Period. So you can yell and scream in Twitter spaces all that you want, but it's not going to stop President Joe Biden from signing executive orders for the LGBTQ community. Yeah, but I'm a Black American, so as long as I'm a Black American, I can take precedence to come into FBA spaces because I have to make sure and defend our legacy as a people. Um, we won't allow the xenophobic, nasty opinions of FBA to dictate and dominate what it means to be Black American. Chase, you spoke about your children. Don't you put the hate and vitriol that you spread on the internet on your child? How dare you? FBA is not a lineage, it is a group. It is a group of incels, a fringe group. Period. It's not a lineage. It's not reflective of the 50 million Black Americans in this country. Um, period. So don't use your children as a scapegoat to spread the hate and vitriol that you have towards immigrants. This is an anti-immigrant organization, an anti-feminist organization, an anti-LGBTQ organization. Nothing more, nothing less. The goal is supposed to be reparations. So let's talk about reparations and how we're going to give our people reparations. Bashing me because I'm a proud Black trans woman is not going to get you reparations. Blaming immigrants who come to America for a better life is not going to get Black Americans reparations. Bashing feminists, even if they're twerking on TikTok, it's not going to get Black Americans reparations. Okay? So I'm a Black American. You're not more Black than me. If this organization is about lineage, Chase, then I should have a voice. You refer to me as you people.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You don't have a voice to decide what.
Okay, y'all. Let's just let her finish up. This is what I'm telling you about. Like, just if you go ahead and you constantly interrupt, it's just going to keep going on and on and on and on. Shango, I need you to keep your mic muted. Chase, go ahead and keep your mic muted. Just go ahead and let TS go ahead and finish up. Because, like I say, once everybody starts chiming in, a point that might be done in 2-3 minutes drags on to 10-15 minutes. So we're going to let TS go ahead and land her plane here in a second. Then we're going to go around again, okay? Go ahead, TS.
Yeah, so I'm Black American. So Chase referred to me as you people on multiple occasions if we're not from the same ethnic group. I'm just as Black American as you. If the United States government ever gives our people reparations, that check will be cut from me as well. It's not only for Black heterosexuals. Newstoter, and I've seen you guys bashing.
Okay, Shango, come on, bro. Let's show some discipline. Let's go ahead and let her finish it so we can go ahead and get it around the room, bro. Come on. Let's go ahead because nobody cut you off, so let's just go ahead and try to go ahead and let her go ahead and get this point out. Go ahead, TS.
30 seconds.
Hey, hold on a second, TS. Just hold on a second. Hey, look, family. Let me explain something to y'all. What we trying to do over here is really curate Black American news. You understand that? So, with that being said, understand that this room is being recorded. So, when our people go back and play this thing back and listen to it, whether it be tomorrow or it's 50 years into the future, we don't want to be the ignorant ones and have our people wondering why they're still in the position they are in. So just let a person yield that mic. It has nothing to do with a person's personal preference. And TS, you got to start coming up here with the disrespect with the. But at the end of the day, just let a person speak. We up here to debate each other. That's all this shit is. Ain't no fucking hard feelings, quote unquote. Whatever the film, whatever the reason, that shit don't matter. Stick to the topic at hand, yo. Go ahead, TS. 60 seconds. Let's go.
Yeah, but what I would not allow is for someone to question my ability to speak with you guys is if I'm not Black American. I am Black American. Chase, you are not more Black American than me because you're heterosexual. Period. Okay? So regardless of what my opinion of FBA is, we're discussing topics in my lineage, the culture that I belong to. My paperwork has been done. I trace my ancestors to the state of South Carolina to 1830s to the 1850s. Okay? I got my paperwork. And I'm really sick and tired of you guys bashing Newstoter for allowing me to speak. This is not an echo chamber, period. If we are truly going to discuss Black American issues, all Black Americans, including those that are from the quote unquote norm of society, should have a voice as well. And that is why I come into these spaces to give a voice to all Black Americans. Kimberly, or whatever, I'll pray for you. I'll pray that hate in your heart goes away because it's very, sad to see another Black person have as much vitriol and hate for another Black person for no reason. And
okay,
Shango,
TS.
I'm done. Shango, you follow our transsexual OnlyFans content creator with 50,000 followers. You have some secrets in the closet. Mic drop.
Okay. Alrighty. Kimberly, I'm gonna get to you 1 second. Let's let Chokum. I think it's Chokum. They haven't had a chance to speak, so Chokum, go ahead and unmute your mic real quick.
Go ahead and let Kimberly had her hand up first. Go ahead and let her speak.
Yeah, we trying to let any new speaker that came in. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you, and then we'll go to Kimberly. Then we'll go to my man Irie Fum.
Okay, that's cool, man. I appreciate y'all for allowing me to speak in the room. Newstoter. I know everybody be getting your name messed up, man. So I just want to say that again. It's Newstoter.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome, man. I done heard Trotter, Cotter. Like, I just think that, like anybody in here, man, they should make it a emphasis to get your name right. But
I appreciate that. Thank you.
For sure. See, I wasn't in the Uncle Luke space, so I don't really know what's going on. I don't really know what the topic was about, or Roland Martin. So if you want to fill me in, Newstoter, like, I would appreciate it. But
yeah, I was I had a hard time myself getting into space. Like everybody had a hard time, I guess, maybe certain accounts or whatever. But basically, he was saying that we need to get with Roland Martin and vote like Roland Martin and think like Roland Martin, this and that. And it basically was just a Democrat shill type speech from what a number of my followers was saying. Because like I said, every time I tried to get in, I was having connection issues. I don't know what the hell was going on, but I created this space here during the time I was trying to I scheduled it. So I think maybe that may have had something to do with it. But it was basically about us as Black people. We need to support Roland Martin, and we need to vote and think like Roland Martin. So in a nutshell, that's pretty much what it was.
Oh, okay, I got you. So it's basically a bunch of BS. But honestly, man, I like your views, man. Like what you were saying about voting. stuff like that. Like, I believe in voting. I appreciate the people who, went through what they went through for us being able to have the right to vote. But just casting a vote, casting a vote, in a into an evil, an evil system, is crazy. You know what I mean? It's insanity. You know what I mean? Like, with every vote, you're empowering evil. You see what I'm saying? It may be the lesser or the more of two evils, but you're still casting that vote to empower that person. You see what I'm saying? And it's nothing. There's nothing in it for us. But I do want to I do want to address TS real quick though. You know what I mean? I know this wasn't, this is not what the room is about, but I know you're used to playing both sides of the fence. You see what I'm saying? Like, you do that in your everyday life, right?
I don't.
No, you do.
I've been a trans woman.
Listen. I didn't interrupt you. I didn't interrupt you when you were talking. Okay, just hear me out. You play both sides of the fence. That's your everyday life, right? You do that. But what I'm telling you is, when you get in these groups with these different people and you try to play both sides of the fence, it's not going to be good. You see what I'm saying? Because that little group that you hang with, the Pan Africans and all that kind of stuff, they're saying crazy stuff. Like, oh, we got a bounty on your head and all this kind of stuff. They want to pull up and all this kind of stuff. Okay, so you're in North Carolina. You said your roots in South Carolina, so you should already know we don't take that stuff lightly. You know what I'm saying? Don't get caught up in the middle of something that you don't want to be in. Truly, at heart. No, I'm not threatening anybody. I'm not threatening anybody. I'm giving you some healthy advice. I know you're not used to getting that, and I know you're not used to receiving it, but I'm giving you some healthy advice. I'm telling you, if you listen, listen. I'm not like the rest of you folks. I'm not about to play with you. You see what I'm saying? I'm not about to play with you or that little.
You're in South Carolina. I'm in North Carolina, so
that's fine. That's fine. Hey, look. My reach is state to state and coast to coast. That's fine. You understand? But look, I'm not about to go back and forth with you. All I'm saying is, what you're doing is dangerous, and you're playing around. Like, I don't think you realize, like, this is real life. This isn't just Twitter. Okay? It's dangerous. You know that.
What are you talking about?
Hey, Newstoter, I'm done, man. I appreciate you.
No doubt. And I see that you're not following Newstoter, so go ahead and make sure you follow us here on Twitter, man, just to stay up to date.
Newstoter, were those not threats to me? I thought that was a very, dark statement.
Well, I heard him say that he wasn't threatening you, so I had to take his word for it.
The truth can be dark. The truth is dark for most people. That's why they don't like to hear.
Excuse me, I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, bro. Hey, how do you pronounce your name? Is it Hukma bin Ari? Is it like the Jewish pronunciation? Chokma. Okay.
Raise your hand if you want to talk, man. Raise your hand if you want to talk. And TF, this person is not threatening you. What this person is trying to explain to you is, if you say you're Black American and we say we're delineating, don't be over here fucking with these niggas. Because as soon as they do something to you, we're going to have to go clap them niggas. Automatic. I don't give a fuck if we don't fuck with your sexual orientation. You Black American. You say you getting a reparation check, then be about this reparations, man. That's what niggas is trying to tell you. We don't give a fuck about what you doing. And everybody just stop trolling this person, yo. Please, yo. Because at the end of the day, we trying to make a fucking point. Fuck Uncle Luke. Man. Fuck Uncle Luke. That's get to the headline, nigga. You know what I'm saying? For real. Go ahead, whoever going next, Adam.
It's Kimberly go. Kimberly, go ahead and unmute your mic. And then, hold on, it's Kimberly. Then we're going to go Irie. Then we're going to go Enough. And then we're going to go Chase.
Okay, so let me just set the record straight as who I am. I'm the one that came out of the wilderness with a rod to judge Black oppression. I'm the one that came out with a rod to judge this immigration hate that you cannot see, this diversity that replaces normal, working hard, building up America Black people that you fail to see. I'm the one who's now finna charge both state and federal for the crimes that they have committed on my people, not yours, mine, because you do not even make a decision that your lineage was a part of slavery. What part? You just always talking about your degree. You're always talking about your house, but and you being with the Democrats, but you are never talking about what your grandmother paid, what price she paid, and what her suffering was, what her tears was, what your mother's tears was. It's always about you. Now you got these fools that are now in the entertainment industry that has basically had nothing but propaganda against black women, propaganda against our social issues. Biden haven't done anything for us, so he does not deserve our votes. Biden has not done anything or said anything about the May 14th shooting. He does not deserve our votes. He's not talking about reparation because he already told us how he feels. He said that he is not going to pay us anything based on what happened to us back in the day, what his fathers did. So he's not going to pay us. So that's the reason why we're sitting in these spaces trying to take our economic reasons serious, trying to take our life to live in peace and in happiness and prosperity, giving us a chance seriously. And every time you drag your hypocritical self in here, you always coming to be on the opposite side of righteousness. And now when I tell you what I'm here for to judge this foolishness, you can't seem to comprehend that. Whether you comprehend it or not, my judgment is going to be known. So I don't even care. You know, you're only 35 years old. That's 35 years of unintelligence. So what do I care about that? You know what I'm saying? I don't care about your sexuality. Let me finish. Small-minded person, let me finish. Okay? I don't care nothing about your sexuality. I don't care anything about anybody. I don't care anything about your sexuality. I care about everyone. You keep talking, so what? You're not even sure what your gender are. You making decisions now. No.
All right, TS, go ahead and let her finish speaking, please. Go ahead, Kimberly.
Exactly. Thank you. I am here to only say that the normal people who are saying something about slavery, which you failed to miss because that wasn't a part of your generation, we're just simply saying no man has the right to make another man work for free and not pay them. America was built on the backs of slaves. So we're entitled to keep our votes, which they could care less about anyway, because the Constitution had nothing to do with us, which was made in 1776. So they were talking about a whole bunch of white folks anyway and them having rights. The Emancipation Proclamation in January 15, 1985 came in, making us free, okay? They're abolishing slavery, okay? But we got modern day slavery around, and because you in your me, self, and I world, you fail to see everybody else's hurt except for your own. Trans this, trans that. And then we trying to say, hey, can you at least consider, you know, if you so black, can you at least consider that the policies that are in place right now are they are detrimental to the black community, black women, black children, black schools, black anything. But you can't see that, and you come in these rooms trying to dominate the conversation, persuade men, real men, to feel for you, and then you disrespect real black women who got to fight for you. Something wrong with you. And you won't even admit there's something wrong with you and just go have a seat. Matter of fact, have several seats. And I'm laying my plane.
Thank you.
Girl, bye.
Thank you, Kimberly. Irie, go ahead, Irie. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Shit. I'm gonna let Sister Enough go. I wanted to go ahead and fucking talk about Luke. I want to talk about Uncle Luke, so I don't know if they still talking to Giselle, but
I did talk about Uncle Luke. Stop that lie. I came in here to ask news.
I didn't lie about anything. I didn't ask anything about. I just said that
bro, he ain't talking to you. Hey, he ain't talking.
Okay. Irie, you said you want to. If you want to, I'll let Enough go, and I'll let Chase go. And if you want, then you can go last. If that's cool, man. So Enough, go ahead and unmute your mic, man. You there, Enough? Enough, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Okay. First of all, you just disrespected me. I'm not wicked. I'm not rude. Okay. The last time we had an interaction, I just told you how I felt about the things that you were saying. Okay. And I'm trying to come to you with respect this time. Okay. I'm going to come to you with respect. I will call you her. Okay. But if you didn't understand what Kimberly was saying, that tells me that you have a mental problem.
Kimberly is evil. I would never listen to her.
No, honey. She's not evil. She's for her people. It's about putting your people first. It's not about our sexual orientation. It's not nothing about that, honey. It's nothing about that, honey. You have to put your people first. Us. We got to come together. All of that other stuff that you got going on, that needs to be pushed out. You need to push it out, and you need to stand with your people, because I'm telling you, when times get bad, all of those white people that you think are standing with you, Democrats, Republicans, they will not stand with you. You will only have us to stand with you. You do not want to make us your enemy. I'm telling you, you do not want us to be your enemy. You want to come together
and people have no money or power. So
that's where we at. So that's where we at, TS. What do you think we're fighting for?
So why would someone like you?
TS, let Enough go ahead and finish speaking, please. Let's go ahead and we're gonna stop, and we're gonna stop just cutting people off, interrupting people. Go ahead and let's show. This is Newstoter is an aggregator, a news outlet. We're trying to show some discipline here. DJ already asked everybody nicely. I'm asking nicely. Please, black people, let's go ahead and let's show some character here. Just go back and just let people go ahead and do what they got to do, so we can go ahead and move the room. We're not going to be on here much longer anyway, so I want to let everybody that I have in order go ahead and get one last final say. So please, I'm just asking everybody to respect the actual space that we have tonight. We don't have to agree with everything everybody says. We say this all the time, but we can also do a little bit better than what we're doing. TS, please go ahead and let Enough go ahead and speak. We're gonna go Enough, then we're gonna go Chase, then we're gonna go Irie. So please, let's go ahead and just try to go ahead. So like I said, we're gonna be closing the space out soon. Go ahead, Enough, please.
TS Madison, this is for anybody that is trying to come in and divide us. I don't care what your sexual orientation is. I don't care what you got going on in your personal life. When it comes to the movement needs to be about reparations and about our people and getting back what was stolen from us. You understand that? And if that can't be your number one priority right now, then you don't stand for us. You don't. You're not for us. Just be honest. And about us not having money, what do you think we're fighting for right now? What do you think we're fighting for? We're fighting so you don't have to prostitute anymore. So you can actually be a woman if you actually want to be a woman. Like legit. And you can think that it's funny, but it's the truth. It's the truth. And you're not I really think you really should go and talk to somebody, because you have so much self-hate about yourself that you are trying to pass it off onto everyone else. We didn't do this to you, okay? We didn't do anything to you. You have always came in, since I started coming to spaces, you always tried to come in and divide us. Coming in saying some nonsense about something that don't even affect us, okay? Right now, your agenda needs to be on reparations. And if it's not, then I don't fuck with you. And I don't care how you feel about it or how anyone feels about it. But I'm not going to sit around people that are not going to be about being Black first. And I'm about being a foundational Black American first. But I'll end my mic there. Bye.
Thank you, Enough. Thank you, sweetie. Appreciate you. Let's go ahead and also, like I said, anybody that's in the space that's not following Newstoter on Twitter, guys, make sure that you're following us. Also, if you can, contribute to us on Cash App. That's $Newstoter. That is $Newstoter. Contribute $1 if you have $1 to contribute to the New Black Media. It would be greatly appreciated. That is $Newstoter. If you have a PayPal or Venmo account, we also have that in the Jumbotron. You have to slide over a couple spots to the right, I believe, but you can contribute and help the New Black Media grow. Chase, let's go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yes, brother. Man, thank you for holding this space, man. Much love to the Black family, man. I love all of y'all. To your topic, I find it very ironic that, you know, we have not just yourself, but me and Tyreek and several other people that that hit me up on the back channel, had room getting into Luke's space. And I find that really ironic, and it just goes to show how cheap Roland and Luke are, because, they tried to keep that space pretty much sanitized. And, they did that purposely because, Roland wanted to get his little clip so he could put it on his YouTube channel and, make a little money and, stuff like that. And they're basically trying to keep their message for, like, the general public and the older in our community that's just going to go out there and vote blindly for the Democratic Party. And, they fear what's going on because the young folks that are waking up, folks like you, folks like me, folks like Miss Kinsley and Queen and Enough, you know what I mean? All of us, Irie, DJ, we're waking up to the bullshit. And that terrifies them. That terrifies them, brother. So, we know what it is. We know what these folks are doing. All that was just a game to keep out, folks from the curator tribe. And it's, I land my plane on this. It's a wonder why they didn't keep the last week's space open. Because I know after 10 seconds after I got finished with him and his folks, they shut the space down. But it was recorded. Where's that recording? That recording says a lot about who they are, and it's very telling. These people aren't on our side. So, I land my plane on that. I love y'all black folks, man. And I end it on that.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Definitely appreciate that. We got my man Irie Farmer up in here. We're gonna let Irie be the last speaker for the night, and DJ's gonna be next after that, and I'm gonna close it out. So Irie, go ahead and say what you got to say, brother.
Brother Newstoter, much love to you, brother Said, all of the black family, the beloved sister Kimberly, brother Chase, sister Elmira, all of the family, man. Much love to y'all, brother Ray Smith, Black Mix.
So you don't see me on stage.
And sister Giselle, I saved the best for last. Okay, there you go. Okay, you're black.
Ow.
Okay, you're a black American.
Stream, every man's fantasy.
At the end of the day, I'm gonna fight for your reparations with the same vigor as I fight for mine and my families. Okay, so don't ever doubt that. Reparations over everything. But when it comes to this guy, no but. In addition to, when it comes to Uncle Luke talking about what he was talking about, the main thing I got from it was just that he wanted to promote this notion that he wanted to be this medium that he can have spaces where we can come together and have conversations that's going to be beneficial, and he's going to be a source of the grassroots work. But so many times, as you keep watching these plants grow, they don't have the signature of anything that's organic. It's just a whole bunch of genetically modified type of actions that just yield me to believe that these genetics are not proper, man. And so when we look at it, we see he's saying, man, Miami was created by Bahamians and all of these conversations. And when he was trying to get checked, he took our brother Mel from out there because he couldn't handle even the dialogue with another Floridian. So I think that speaks a lot to it. Roland up there, we already know. They had a boule fest, and it was just like an echo chamber with them guys trying to feel good about the time that they spent, but really reaching out to the true thing about it. Like, this is the same guy who in our community was making music that really wasn't promoting anything beneficial for our community. He never stopped and changed up, like an Ice Cube, flipped it up and went from rapping about fuck the police, and then all of a sudden, there's a long line of hardcore being anti-government, pro-black, and even with the movies he make, and even up to when he was trying to put out a plan for Black America just to do something, right? So I appreciate that type of actions for people, and I appreciate when they use their platform for a purpose to benefit the collective. I don't feel like any growth was used in that room. The thing I was going to just talk to him about today that I wanted to ask was really Roland Martin about how come Roland Martin is just so absent in the community? How come we never see Roland, and when we talk to him, he never responds to us? He always responds to all things that are white, and Roland responds to everything that the collective mainstream media talks about. So whenever we can't have dialogue with them, I just look at it like this is their last ditch attempt to try to get some legitimacy among us, and we're already seeing for what it is. So we'll just keep it moving, but I don't see anything from those spaces being beneficial for us. So we just gonna keep on doing what we're doing and keep rolling how we roll, and we're just gonna keep going on this train towards reparations. And so I definitely can't wait to get some tangible shit rolling that way and get our conversations focused back on that. Much love, Brother Toter. Much love, Brother Seg, and reparations over everything, family.
No doubt, Ari. I always love when this brother comes through and always so intelligent and so articulate the way he states his views and everything. I love the way he comes in and always dissects the conversation. So thank you, brother, for once again showing the platform, showing the content, showing the largest Black news aggregator curation platform today, Black owned in America. Some love. So definitely appreciate you, brother, and always stop by whenever you get a chance to. I know you be holding your own spaces and you be in the security tribe spots as well, and I try to join them in when I can as well. So thank you again for coming through and showing that love. DJ, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go ahead and get the last comment in it before I go ahead and wrap it up. You there, DJ?
Yeah, apologies, fam. I thought I heard the alarm going off. That's all good, though. But, yeah, so I guess we're closing out. Apologies, I couldn't get up early to, chit-chat with the fam or whatever the case be. I was stuck in the mountains making a delivery. So, basically, yeah, TS, this is what I've done told you 1,000 times. We don't care about what it is you be saying about your Howard degrees, and that's great that you got them and all that, but put them to some good use and help us get this reparations, man, if we really Black American. Because that's all we really give a fuck about. We separating from fucking everybody. We need our own Black state of America. We need our reparations so we can get the hell away from these race soldiers that's coming in the country. I don't know if you ever really been around these people. That's what Sister trying to tell you. You know what I mean? You gonna need us at the end of the day, because when the shit hit the fan, who you really running to, fam? Come on now, think about that shit. You know what I mean? You really from the Cackalax? You already know how Black people get down, man. You know what I mean? I ain't been down there since the 80s, keep it real. When I used to go down there and be on my great-grandma farm and shit, you know what I mean? Real talk, you know what I mean? So I'm planning on coming down there, so get your fucking shit together, you know what I mean? Everybody else, from now on out, this the last troll. So when you do come up in here, TS, don't come with the fucking vitriol, fam, because we ain't having it, and I'm gonna let everybody get on you instead of trying to defend you. So this is fair warning right here, you know what I mean? As far as Uncle Lou goes, FM here, tether gang, tether room, you know what I'm saying? Tether room is a tether in the coon. In case for y'all ain't know, I made that up, don't copyright it. Got the lawyer in the house, Ms. Arnold, you already know what I mean? At the end of the day, ADOS told him, do not vote for Kamala Harris. This is the reasons why. She is keeping Black people incarcerated after they posted their bail, and Ben was supposed to be home and kept him in jail for months on end. We already know about the wildfires that go on in California. Hey, that's a natural thing or man-made. Some nigga might set the fire off, smoking crack in the fucking forest or some shit. Who knows? You know what I mean? And we're getting fucked up. So at the end of the day, they're using prisoners, our Black people, that are mainly the people that are in these prisons in California, to go fight those wildfires for 25-cent dollar a day. They ain't asked for that shit because they committed a crime, but they doing what they got to do to work that time down. I go respect that. You know what I mean? Also, when you can't deal with these people like Luke, Roland, Martin, they ain't about nothing. Because that's the case, they would have been about this shit. They would have been had us up here talking about reparations. They really gave a damn. Think about that shit. How long have they been in the game? And now we brought this shit to the forefront. And, y'all want to say, oh, well, it's for all people. Nah, fuck you, Talib Kweli. Fuck you, Roland Martin. Fuck you, who else? Uncle Luke, you know what I'm saying? Joanne Reed, Angela Rod with no lettuce, tomato on the side. Shout out to Progressive Black Truth, you know what I'm saying? Fuck y'all, man. Only nigga that's rocking with this shit right now is Ice Cube, you know what I'm saying? That's the only nigga we fucking with on the celebrity shit. Everybody else, we ain't going to none of your shows. We ain't going to the game. Most I do is at best watch an NFL game. And even then, I ain't even fucking with this shit. Why? Because y'all don't care. So when we do get our reparations, we need to make sure we build our own black Negro leagues back. We ain't even fucking with y'all. We should be investing all our money in Q Big 3 shit. Think about that. You know what I mean? And for y'all that don't know, I don't know if y'all really looked over that contract for Black America. So far, it just seems like real legit to me. I'm not the lawyer, biblical talker, really break it down. But from a business perspective, hey, this shit looking fire to me. So, yeah, I'm trying to be at the Giant Stadium and be one of these Black Americans to get one of these vendor spots. You feel what I'm saying? Go check out, check out whatever the Economic Development Corporation is in your county. So say, for instance, if you live in like Union County, that's the name of your county or whatever. So Union County Economic Development Corporation. That's what you want to look for in your neighborhood. Start taking advantage of whatever SBA loans we could get. Start getting your paperwork up. Get your business ID. Get your business registration. Make sure you LLC yourself. What's an LLC? Limited liability company. So that means you separate yourself from the business. In case the business winds up getting sued, they can't touch your personal money. That is what it is. Other thing is to get your tax ID so you can pay your taxes so the man don't come for you. Understand that shit. So when we do get our check, we'll already be in line to go open up shop and get them businesses popping even more than ever. Put all these people that we see that's doing their thing on Instagram and all this other shit, you know what I'm saying? Clothes, whatever, music, whatever it is we're doing, we need to take our own shit back. And that's the whole argument why Jokers is really mad. We about to snatch everything back. It's over with for him. It's over with. TS, so what side you rolling with? You rolling with the niggas, you know what I'm saying? Or you rolling with the tether rooms? Because we ain't fucking with the tether rooms. Even though we ain't got a problem with them niggas either. But they better shut the F up too. Because we getting sick of them. Because it's about to be punching niggas in their face for no reason. You know what I'm saying? But you giving me a reason, really? And ain't no threat. Niggas ain't threatening nobody. Just stop fucking talking, nigga. That's all niggas trying to tell you. Stop fucking talking. We don't care. We don't care. Okay, so that means you need to get the fuck out the room then. If that's the case, you know what I'm saying? See all that? Right, let me just got removed from speaker. Keep it real. If you're rolling with the niggas that give you the money, we trying to get our money that's owed to us. So that way we can hire our people and then pay you. You're missing a point. See that? It's just really that simple. So yeah, you gotta go now, because that was the last disrespect. We ain't having it no more. That was the mic check. And if y'all want to come pop more shit about it, y'all can come over to the Kite Production space. We about to be all night. Fuck it. Fuck Luke. Oh yeah. Tired of game.
All right, y'all. I appreciate everybody that came out. Like I said, I normally do the spaces Monday through Thursday. I was getting ready to curate some news, and I was on Twitter, and I saw this. I think I had just tweeted something, and I was like, oh my God. I'm like, what in the hell is going on here? When I saw that, I knew I had to do a space. The sister enough, she saw it also, and she was like, we you definitely need to hold a space on this here for Monday or tomorrow. And I was like, shoot, why do it tomorrow? Why not just do it tonight? Go ahead. And so when I saw that with Luke and Roland Martin and talking about we need to go towards Roland Martin, I was like, I called DJ up. I say, well, nah, man, we need to go ahead and have us a space tonight. Generally, like I say, Sundays, I generally don't try to do anything. But I felt the need to go ahead and do it tonight. I had to put the curation on hold a little bit because I wanted to go ahead and connect with everybody, see what everybody was thinking. No way in hell will we ever go with no Roland Martin or Luther Campbell. Luke pretty much tonight, as if it was any question about where his allegiance was at. He's definitely has a mindset of Caribbean first, Black American second. He's definitely sitting up here talking about supporting somebody who's definitely shown no heart in terms of standing up for issues for Black Americans. So I just wanted to go ahead and thank everybody who came into the space tonight, everybody who contributed to the conversation. We will definitely Appreciate you guys coming in. Appreciate everybody who spoke. Thank you to Kimberly. Thank you to Irie. Thank you to Chase. Thank you to Ray. Thank you to Enough. Thank you to everybody who spoke tonight, everybody who tweeted out the space. Thank you to everybody who just came in and wanted to listen, just to hear the conversation going. I appreciate you guys. We will definitely be holding a Twitter space tomorrow on the subject. I can't really say right now. We're also in the process of working out a joint Twitter space with Secure the Tribe. So we're gonna see about having something like that set up this week here. We're gonna talk about doing something with Secure the Tribe this week. I've been in contact with Yaya, so we're just trying to nail down a date or whatever, see exactly what the topic's gonna be. So I would definitely keep y'all posted on that. Definitely keep y'all posted. I know you guys will come through and support the space as always. Thank you to everybody who contributed on Cash App, PayPal, and everything else tonight. I appreciate you guys. And we will see you tomorrow. God bless, and y'all have a good one.
Peace, love, reparations. Come over to the kite space. We about to get it in, man. Fuck it.
Yeah, support DJ and Kite Space